Hello, hello. Happy Saturday night. I am live tonight. I was not planning to be live, so this is like a shock to me too. So welcome, welcome. I am here tonight to kind of play or share, I should say, an interview that I did with Jill 2.0 Mommy. So if you are a part of this community, you know exactly who she is. And she is such a trooper. I have these great ideas, and a lot of times I'm doing it alone because people don't always go with me. But she did. And I told her, you can say, no, this is just, I'm thinking outside of the box, something I wanted to do and try. And she's like, let's do it. I love that. I love that. So I feel like we're like Thelma and Louise tonight, only we're not going off the cliff. We're just staying in the chat. So I am going to premiere our little video. So I don't know if you were with me on Thursday and I premiered this video that I had tried to do some little fancy editing, trying to spice it up. And I just love that. I love the idea of doing that. And so this is kind of another way to do that. So I see tonight so far in the chat, we have Lakeisha 2.0 Mommy's here. So if you're out there, log on in, say hello. She has not seen the video, so this is new to her too. And then we have Simply Taisha, love it, love it. We have, I said we have Lakeisha. Okay, so are you guys ready? We're gonna get started really quick before we just dive into this video. I want to say this is if something goes wrong, um, you know, and just be prepared that it might, because I have no idea. I've never done this before, so I'm doing it new for the first time. So, but tune in tomorrow, Sunday, because I will be sharing my update with the weight loss. And I don't know how it's going, but after on Sunday, I'll only have a few more days. I will report out on Sunday, next Sunday. I don't think I'll make it to report out on Turkey Day. I might though, who knows? But tune in tomorrow so you can see like where do I stand. My goal is to get to that 50 pounds. All right. So without further ado, are you ready? 2.0 Mommy. Now, I would like to add too, I was sick when we did this interview. I was coming off of a sickness, I should say. And I had something going on and I had lost my voice and I was just getting it back when, we interviewed. And so, I was taking that medication. I was trying to suppress the cough. So we'll see how it all pans out. So we are ready. Hey, Kofia has joined. Z has joined. The sassy sister. I love that. The sassy sister has joined. All right, here we go. Now, let me try to do this quick because it starts right away.
And I realized that at that point, I didn't really have anything to lose. I felt like I was getting sick. I felt like I was getting like the flu. I had body aches.
What was your starting weight?
I was.
Welcome, 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 welcome 2.0 Mommy.
Thank
I'm
you.
excited to have you. How are you?
Good. I'm doing good. I'm glad that you're feeling better too.
Thank you. So today we are going to interview with 2.0 Mommy. We are glad she is here. We want to get to know her and learn a little bit about how she started her
Happy to be
journey.
here.
Can you tell us a little bit about yourself? Tell us a little bit about your background first.
Sure. Okay. Do you want the abridged version or like the?
Whatever you want to share.
Okay, so I am 44 years old. I have 10 kids and I homeschool some of them. Some of them have already graduated. And yeah, my life has really just been raising my kids and just being busy with everything that entails. And this is finally like the first time in my adult life that I'm like prioritizing myself and just putting my health first. And it's good. It's good. It's good things.
Have you always homeschooled?
Yes. Yeah. So
Oh,
my
okay.
oldest, when I say 10 kids, a lot of people think they just envision a lot of like toddlers and like school age kids, but my oldest is 24. He's 24. Well, he's about to be 24 in like two weeks. And then my youngest is 4. So I've been homeschooling since my oldest was in kindergarten.
Oh, wow, wow.
Yeah.
Well, how do you enjoy that? Do you miss the time when the kids were in school? How do you compare the 2?
Yeah, it's a lot of work. It's definitely a lot of work, but I really enjoy having that time with them. School just takes up so much of their time. And actually, my three oldest did go to high school. They went to a Christian private school for high school, as well as teaching younger kids how to read. And it's very like time consuming. So it just made sense to send them to school for high school so I could have more time to homeschool like their younger siblings. And I really missed them. I really did. I just felt bad that I wasn't spending as much time. They were older at that point, so it wasn't like horrible, but I did. I missed them.
Oh,
So
wow,
I
okay.
enjoy it.
That's
But
so
it's a lot
sweet.
of work.
Oh, I can imagine. It's a lot of work with this one. So I can't
Yeah.
imagine homeschooling more
Yeah.
than one or just being at home with more than one. So
Yeah.
what are the age ranges? 24 and then your youngest is
4.
4. Okay, 4.
Yeah, yeah.
Wow. So you have
So
a big span.
yeah, I do. They were usually about a year and a half, 2 years apart, and my last 2, there was like a 5-year gap between. So I have the 4-year-old and then my 9-year-old. So,
Now this question is from my daughter. She wants to know, what does 2.0 mommy mean and where did you get that name from?
oh, that's a good question. So actually, I think it was around 2017, maybe 2016. I actually had started an Instagram page because I was gonna document my weight loss journey. And I guess I just thought of the name because I was at the time thought I was gonna like reinvent myself, like the better version of myself. So that's why I came up with 2.0 mommy. But then as it turned out, I never made that transformation. So I just held on to the Instagram page like all these years. I wasn't active on it, but I just held on to it. So when I started my YouTube, it just made sense to use 2.0 mommy.
Oh, very cool. That's
Yeah.
cool. That's cool. Yeah, she said, Mommy, what does 2.0 mean? And I said, she has 10 children. So maybe that means she's working really hard. She's
Yeah.
beyond one. She's at 2. So
Yeah.
I thought that was so cool that she asked that.
Yeah. Yeah. That's a good question.
Can you tell us about your health journey? Tell us about how you started Zepbound and what led you to start Zepbound.
Yeah, like all of my teenage years, and even after having several kids, I didn't have a weight issue at all. I was very fortunate. I always lost all the baby weight. I didn't gain a lot of weight with each pregnancy either. I gained probably like 25 pounds. So I guess it was easy to get rid of the baby weight. And I guess it was right around after my maybe during my 7th pregnancy or my 6th, something like that. I just at that point then started holding on to the weight. And really, actually, now that I think of it, it was at after the birth of my 7th baby. He was not an easy baby. He had really bad colic and he was just crying all night. Like he would start crying from like 7 or 8 at night all the way up until 4 in the morning. And I just remember eating a lot, like snacking and just trying to stay awake, like just trying to stay awake so that I needed something to do. And eating was giving me that thing to do, but I wasn't snacking on celery. I was snacking on cookies and chips. And so the weight really started, like the binge eating, I think really started then. And I had a few more kids after that, and then I wasn't losing the baby weight. And so by the time I had my last baby in 2020, I was already pretty overweight. But actually, it wasn't until 2023 that I really put on a lot of weight in a short amount of time. So I had actually put on 24 pounds in just a couple of months.
Oh,
And
wow.
yeah, at that point, I was just out of control, like completely out of control. I just was eating constantly, like constantly eating. So that's when I had actually gone to the doctor and she had done some blood work and she didn't like the look of some things. My blood pressure was a little high, my liver enzymes were high. And so she had actually sent me back home with a follow up for 6 months. And she had wanted me in that time to lose weight, exercise, and then she wanted to see where I was after that. And I actually didn't end up losing weight. I gained weight in that time. And so by the time, so I think my appointment was sometime in the summer, and then I had my follow up for 6 months later. So right around December, it started to dawn on me that I hadn't changed my lifestyle at all. I wasn't losing weight. I wasn't doing anything. And so I actually joined an app. It was called, I forget what it's called now, but at the time it was called Copilot. I don't know if you've heard of it.
No.
So basically, they just pair you with a personal trainer, and they check in on you, like they develop like an exercise plan for you, and they check up on you and make sure that you're doing it, and it's synced to like your Fitbit or your Apple Watch, so they can see like your heart rate while you're doing the exercises. And so I just, at that point, I was just looking for some accountability, really. And so I joined that, and I had a great trainer. And so she started me off with body weight exercises, and not too crazy, like 3 times a week, body weight only. And I was actually doing pretty good with that, but I still didn't have eating under control. So even though I was using this app and I was exercising 3 times a week, I wasn't losing weight because I was still binge eating. I was still eating a lot. So my appointment rolls around in February, and I didn't even want to go because I felt so embarrassed that I was supposed to have made all these changes. And instead, I actually gained more weight. So I didn't even want to go to the doctor. And I go to the doctor and I mentioned her. She's very nice. She's never made me feel bad. So I have a good relationship with her. And I just made a comment. I don't even remember what I said, but I said something about how, like, that I wished Ozempic was safer or something, and that I would definitely try something like that. And she was like, actually, it's not like what you hear about. Because at that time, and even still, there was a lot of negative stories about people getting really sick on it. And I had seen something on TV about it being linked to cancer. And I was just hearing so many horrible things. And I just felt like I would never get on that kind of medication. And so when I made this comment to her, she just reassured me about a lot of those things. And I figured it was worth a try. And so I didn't make that appointment with the intention of getting started on Zepbound or anything. We spoke about it at that visit, and she prescribed Zepbound to me, and the rest was history.
Now, were you hesitant to take it, or when you first
I
when you
was
at home?
hesitant, and like before seeing her, I was very hesitant. I actually had even talked to my mom and told her, like, don't get, because she's type 2 diabetic, and I was reading how that was a type 2 diabetes medication, and I knew that she had an appointment coming up. So I was like, don't let them put you on Ozempic. It's really bad. I've heard a lot of bad things about it. And so I was convinced that I would never, like, even though it sounded appealing, because I was seeing that people were losing weight, I was just convinced I would never, it just seemed too risky. And so when I made that comment and she just reassured me, I just trusted her. And I realized that at that point, I didn't really have anything to lose. Once she reassured me that I was probably going to be okay, and she just told me that a lot of those, first of all, she had said that type 2 diabetics are more prone to some of the side effects that people were reporting, like some of the GI issues. And then she said a lot of it has to do with the dosing, that if you move up too quickly on the dose, it's just going to cause more side effects. And she just suggested that I take it really nice and slow, and that the minute I started to have any bad side effects, that we would just back off. I don't need to stay on it. So with all of that, I just felt more at peace with trying it. And so I did, and I'm glad I did.
So how do you manage side effects? Do you have any side effects on Zepbound?
I really don't. I've been very lucky. Initially, I did have some of, like, the first injection, actually, I felt like I was getting sick. I felt like I was getting like the flu. I had body aches, I had like a headache, and I did not feel well. I had nausea. But after that first injection, I really have the body aches, more just like the nausea. And I guess as I took it, by the end of the first month, I really didn't have any side effects. So
No,
I've been
okay.
fortunate with that.
What was your starting weight when you started taking Zepbound?
I was 214.
214. Okay,
Mhm.
214. And did you have a goal set of how much you wanted to lose?
No, my doctor said she'd be happy if I got to 150, even though she believed that it would be healthier if I went a little lower than that. She just felt that at 150 I would be out of the obese category, or not the obese, the overweight. I was in the obese category already, but 150 would put me at the very beginning of the overweight category.
Okay, yeah.
So I guess she just didn't know what I was capable of doing or how much I would end up losing. So she didn't want to like put a lot of pressure on me and scare me off or whatever. But since then, she thinks that I could probably get down to 130, 135. So that's what I'm thinking, but I don't know.
So you think your goal is going to be 135?
Yeah, 130, 135. I'm looking at body fat percentage, and right now I'm still at 29% body fat. So I'd like to get it a little lower than that, like maybe 25%. I don't know if I can, but it'd be nice if I can get there, but we'll see. We'll see how it goes as I get closer.
That's nice that you're focusing on more than just the weight. You're looking at other benchmarks like, percentage of body fat. So I've heard some people say that if they set a goal to get to 135, they would go down to 125, or their doctor has encouraged that, so that if they eventually come off the medication, they'll have that 10-pound wiggle room. Have you
Right.
considered that?
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's probably why I want to just get closer to that range, just so that I can have a little bit of that wiggle room. So like my husband has never ever struggled with his weight, but his weight does fluctuate. He goes probably like within 10 pounds. And he's been that way. We've been married 24 years. He's always been within those 10 pounds. And so I think that's probably normal to fluctuate. And it's not like suddenly he's 10
Right.
pounds overweight, but like slowly he goes up a little and then he comes back down. And so I want to allow that for myself to that buffer.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. I think I would want to do that too. So
Yeah.
can you explain your calorie counting to us and how you manage the food?
Yeah, so I should pay closer attention to that, because if people ask, then I can give them like a more accurate picture of how much I'm eating. I really don't. The only time I track the calories is when I'm doing like my food, like my meal prep videos or something like that, because obviously that's something that people will want to know.
Yeah, yes, yeah.
So I do track it for those meals, but generally I don't. I guess I pretty much have an idea of, I eat the same things and that helps. So I'm not like constantly trying to figure out how many calories is in this and that. And I keep like a mental tally of how much I'm eating. So I'm trying to stay at about 1500 calories, but I'm not weighing everything, or
Okay.
I don't know. I guess it's just easier not to do that, but I probably should, just so that I can let people know exactly. But when I do the food videos, I do make sure that I'm weighing and measuring things, but I'm not like that every day.
Okay. So are you keeping track of your protein at all, about how much you're getting in?
Yeah, originally I was doing like 130 grams of protein, and I was able to do that because I was drinking a protein shake in the morning, but I don't do that anymore just because I lost the taste for it. I guess I got sick of it. So I don't
Mhm.
really have the protein shake anymore, but I'm having a little less. That was always my goal, 130, but I don't have to reach that goal every single day. I'm okay if I come under that a couple of days a week. And I think in the end, it like balances out. But that's my goal. 130 would be like a great day, but I definitely try to get like 90 to 100 grams of protein a day. That's like bare minimum.
Okay. Yeah, that sounds like what I'm trying to do too.
Is it?
Like
Yeah.
100. It's hard to get even over the 100, but
Shake helps with that though.
it does. Now, do you like protein bars or anything else that,
I
or
don't like
protein chips?
protein. I've not tried the chips. I've tried a couple of protein bars. I'm not really a fan of them. So I was really just relying on like that, because sometimes the day gets away from you, or sometimes actually I would make something for the kids, like for my family to eat, and I didn't like it, or it didn't really have a lot of protein, and then I would just have, I don't know, something with a protein shake. So now that I don't have that, it's a little harder, because that was just like a quick and easy way of getting the protein in. So
Yeah.
now I just try like for dinner, if I'm going to have like chicken, I make sure that I'm giving myself a decent portion of that and lesser of the sides or whatever. And I think it's 6 ounces. I believe it's 6 ounces of chicken is about 35 grams of protein or
Yes.
something like that.
I thought it was 30, 30, 35.
Yeah, I should have. No, actually, I think it's more. I think it's like 45 or something.
So what is a typical eating day for you? What do you start off with for breakfast? And then what does your lunch look like? And then what does your dinner look like?
Sure. So I'm not doing the protein shake in the morning like I used to, but I have a lot of yogurt, like Greek yogurt. It's higher in protein than regular yogurt. So I do have a lot of yogurt, and about a cup of yogurt, it's a little more, it ends up being like a little more than a cup, I think is about 30 grams of protein. So I will have that. And I've never been like a big breakfast person anyway. So that's actually enough for me. And by the time I get up, one of my kids decided she wanted to go to school. She's in the public school for her junior year. And so I get up, I take her to school, I come home. There's not really a lot of time to have anything more than like yogurt or protein shakes, but because then my other kids are waking up at that time. I'll have that, and then in the afternoon I'll usually just have leftovers of whatever dinner was, which works out great for me because if there was like chicken or something, that's how I get my afternoon protein in. And usually it's like a smaller portion, so I'll have yogurt again. I love yogurt, so I do eat that a lot. And then like for snacks, I'll have usually like an apple, or a lot of times I make avocado toast and I'll have that with like cottage cheese, and the
I've seen
cottage cheese
that,
has
yeah.
protein and I love that. So that's usually lunch. And then dinner will be whatever I make for the family, and I just give myself like a bigger portion of the protein or something like that.
You were right about the chicken. It has 46 grams of protein for
Yeah.
6 ounces.
Yeah.
So
So if I'm having that for dinner and then I have something similar like leftovers for lunch, I'm already at almost 100 grams or something.
good. So
Yeah.
yeah, you have a good sense of getting that protein in. So that's good. Well, so you're so no snacks other than apples and fruit and veggies,
Yeah,
basically.
just I know a lot of it is money. I would love to have like fresh fruit all the time, but it's expensive. It adds up. And then I feel bad too if I'm eating it, then I have to share with everybody else. And
Mm.
like our food budget is the biggest expense that we have. Just a lot of people. So it's not all of my kids live at home. So I only have 8 at home, me and my husband, and then my mother-in-law. So we're how many people is that?
That's
Eight,
still
nine,
11. Is that
11.
11 people? Yes,
11
yeah.
people, yeah. So our food budget is like insanely expensive. And so I would love to have all these other things like the protein chips and stuff, but I look at the price and I'm like, it's just too much money. Like I can't do it. I can't do it. So
They
I
are
just do the
expensive.
yogurt.
So what's your go-to dish? If you had to have if you had to give somebody, okay, this is a dish I would suggest that you eat with within my calorie range, it's high in protein. Like what's a go-to dish for you?
It's very basic, but I really like chicken salad. I just really enjoy it. And it's so easy to make. And of course, if you have enough chicken, you're definitely getting that protein in. So if you have a decent sized bowl of like chicken salad, the dressing is really what you have to be careful for because the dressing, it's, there's a lot of calories in there. So
Yeah.
the way I usually do it is I actually use Greek yogurt for my dressing. So I season the
Oh,
Greek
that's a great
yogurt.
tip.
Yeah, it's a lot less calories. I guess you can do like light salad dressing. I don't really like salad dressing too much just because I feel like it tastes a little bit too much like vinegar and I'm not a fan. I use like yogurt, Greek yogurt, and I mix seasonings in there. I have to see if I could find the name. It's like a buffalo cheese seasoning. And I picked it up. Where did I get it? Sam's Club. So I'm sure like
Well,
Walmart or anywhere has it. And that's what I make my salad dressing out of. And I really enjoy it. And it's very low calorie because it's salad. Yeah. But really, the dressing I find is like the biggest culprit. Like a lot, like if you go to McDonald's, or I don't even know if McDonald's sells salad, but I know Wendy's does. It's not that low calorie, but a lot of it is because of the croutons, the salad, sometimes the cheese that they add, and all of that adds up. So I don't do any of that. And I just have the tomato, lettuce, onions, and then the chicken and the seasoning. And it's high protein and really low calorie. So that's like my favorite actually.
oh my gosh, I want to go make some. That
Yeah.
sounds so
And it's
good.
easy. It's so easy. So
I wanted to ask you, did your doctor ever talk to you about nutrition because you talked about the whole conversation? It sounds like she gave you a lot of information, but did she ever talk about the nutrition part of it?
Not a whole lot. She did mention she said like avoid greasy food. So
Okay.
she did say don't eat that because the medication makes everything sit in your stomach longer. So it's if you're especially if you're prone to have GI upset and then you get on this medication and it's just sitting in your stomach for longer, it's probably just not going to feel very good. So she did mention to stay away from greasy foods and to make sure I was drinking a lot of water and protein. But other than that, not a whole lot of what I should eat or shouldn't eat. Just a focus on no greasy foods, up my protein, and make sure that I'm drinking water. That was basically her suggestion.
Okay. Okay. And what about exercise? Did she suggest that you exercise?
Yeah, yeah. And like I said, I have a really good relationship with her. And so she knows that I have a lot of kids and I'm really busy. But she just really encouraged me to try to do that, especially because I had expressed to her that I probably wouldn't want to be on this for life. And she had said, we talked a lot that first visit. And she said, if I had any hope of not having to be on this, then it was really going to be me making changes, like lifestyle changes. And she just didn't think that I would be able to get off this medication successfully if I was still eating the same way or not exercising, which of course makes sense. And so she just felt if I wanted that to be my end goal, then I was going to have to make a lot of changes.
That makes sense. Oh, good. It sounds like you had a great conversation with her. So
I
you
did.
don't always hear that. You don't always hear people talk about those types of conversations. They just get the medicine and they go. So that I
Yeah.
think that was great. Tell us about your exercise adventure. So were you exercising at all before? Has exercise been a part of your life before Zepbound?
Yeah. So I had started with that app. And that was really only because I knew I had this appointment coming up and I was trying to lose. That was the only reason why. I wasn't
I
trying to
love
get
how
healthy.
honest you are.
That was the only reason why. I didn't have I didn't have the right mindset. I just wanted to lose weight so that I can show up at my doctor and be like, yeah, I'm making changes. But that didn't last because I didn't have the mindset. Other than that, I started Zepbound and I didn't do any exercise for the first month. I didn't do anything. Then my second and third month, I started walking. And I really discovered I liked it. I really enjoyed walking, but I would have continued with that, but the bugs were getting really bad. It was like late spring at that point and I live in the country. There was like tons of bugs. It was just like I wasn't going to be able to walk outside. So I did get a walking pad and that helped, but it was just I'm not sure what it was that really okay, I do know what happened. I was listening to Dr. Tina. I don't know if you're familiar with
I
her.
am. Yes.
Okay, so you know that she's really big on strength training, and
Yes.
especially for women as we get older. And so I had been listening to her for a while, and I guess I had a guilty conscience because I knew I wasn't strength training, and I enjoyed the walking because it was easy. And I guess I figured I should probably start strength training. So I did, and I started that. I guess it was month 3 or 4, something like that. And I was doing really well with that until September when school started. And then once school started, it's just so hard for me to go from summer mode back into teaching. And
Right.
a lot of that is because the grades always change. So I'm not doing the same thing. And my kids are all different, right? So like they're all from the same parents, they're raised the same, but they're all different and they have different learning styles. And so it's what works for one doesn't work for the other. And so I'm just constantly, there's just a lot of moving parts. And it takes
Hmm.
me a long time to get back into a routine. And so once September rolled around, I didn't have the energy to continue with my strength training. And so that kind of fell by the wayside. But I did start walking again a week or two ago, and I've been doing good with that. So I'm hoping to continue with that and then start strength training again. So, so that's basically what's going on now with that.
I think that's why I think your journey is relatable because we all have those hills and valleys, and you
Yeah.
start something new and then it doesn't work, something disrupts your schedule, and then you got to
Yes.
make a change. And so the fact that you're continuing to find something that works and not
Yeah.
just say, forget it, or I'm not going
Yes.
to exercise, I
Yeah.
think that is key. Okay, I love that. I love that. So what does a day in the life for you look like? Because you said you're a mom and you're a homeschooling mom. Some stay-at-home moms, and I know not all, but some they have that time where they're, doing things around the house because their kids are at school, but your kids are home. So
Yeah.
how do you find time to juggle everything and meal prep and all the things that you do? How do you find the time to do that?
Yeah, so I don't find the time to do it all. There's always something that falls by the wayside. It's just if I'm doing really good with meal prepping, then that's because I'm not doing something else. So if I'm exercising consistently, it's because I'm not doing other things consistently. And it's a constant struggle trying to find that balance. But a typical day for me looks like waking up, taking my daughter that goes to school, and then coming home, having maybe if I'm lucky, a half hour before my youngest wakes up. And once he wakes up, pretty much all productivity goes out the window. He's on the spectrum. We think he's on the spectrum. So I have a couple of kids that have some issues, and we see some of the similarities with him, but he just hasn't been like officially diagnosed. And so he demands a lot of time. And so once he's up, I'm pretty much with him from then until he finally goes to bed. So it's hard finding the time to do anything because he's just always right next to me like the whole day.
Now,
He
is
wakes
that the
up.
one that's in your videos
Yes.
sometimes?
Yeah.
Okay, okay, so cute,
Yeah.
adorable.
He's a cute little boy. He has certain ideas about how things should go. And if his day doesn't go exactly the same way every day, he gets upset and then it takes him a long time to regulate. So that's what I'm doing. I'm helping him all day long get through the day. But once he gets up, I get busy with him, and then my other kids are waking up, and then I'm making breakfast, and then we're starting school. And by the time I'm done with school, it's already like 3 o'clock. And by that point, I'm like mentally ready to tap out. And so I really only have a short time between when I'm done with school and when I have to start dinner again. So in that short window, I'll maybe do a little bit of housework, run an errand if I have to. And I don't know, the day just seems to fly by. Before I know it's time to make dinner, and that takes me a while cooking for so many people. And then it's almost time for bed, and then, repeat again the next day. So I don't do anything fun or adventurous or anything like that. It's pretty mundane, I'm sure.
I wanted to ask you, so you said you're not very social, you're focused on home, which is great,
Yeah.
but do you guys eat out? So do you ever go and eat out? Is that like a treat? Do you get a chance to do
Yeah,
that?
we don't, just because it would be very expensive to do. Like we occasionally do, but it's very expensive for all of us to even go into McDonald's. You're talking about 10 to 12, $15 per person, like for everybody to get like a meal. And that's like 100
Which
bucks right there.
was not that way years ago. Now you can go to a restaurant for what you would pay.
So we
Uh,
don't do a whole lot of that. Just, yeah, it's just expensive. It's just expensive. So when we do, it's a really big treat. It's a treat for them and it's a treat for me because I don't have to make dinner. So
Now, how do you find time to record your videos? Because right now it's quiet. You would never know that 11 people, well, 10, including yourself, it's 11 people living in
right,
the house. So you would
yeah.
never know that it was people living there. Do you have a time carved out where you video? I know sometimes you video in your car.
Yeah, I usually will have my older girls watch the younger guys and just make sure that they're not causing too much trouble. But if they can't because they're busy doing whatever it is that they're doing, I'll just say, okay, can you just keep an eye while I go sit in the car just for a second and just make sure that no one's getting hurt. And so I'll just sit in the car for a little while, try to record it and try to make sense in that short amount of time. And then otherwise, I'll put a video on to hopefully keep my youngest occupied just long enough, or I'll give him like a snack or something. I just try to fit it in whenever. Like whenever I see an opportunity, I'm like, okay, I'm going to film.
Now, what does your family feel about you being on YouTube?
They all think it's very strange because I'm not like a social butterfly. So they all think, they were all shocked that I wanted to do this. They just did not see it coming. I still think it's crazy that I'm doing it because I'm very introverted and I'm a homebody. And so I don't like being in front of people. Like, that's like my worst nightmare. But I really started the channel because I was actually so amazed at how well the medication worked that I felt I had to go get on YouTube and tell people, which it's funny because I didn't even realize that there were other people already talking about this medication way before me. But it just felt so life changing that I really just, it was like a few days after my first injection. And I was like, I have to tell people that this works and that it's not as scary as they probably have been hearing. So that's really why I started the chance to tell people that this could be a good opportunity.
Oh, cool. So what month did you start
I
your
started
channel?
I started in my first injection was February 22nd and my first video was like three days later.
Wow,
Yeah.
wow. So you were inspired, really.
Yeah. Yeah. I was really just so shocked at how well it worked. I just couldn't, like, I knew I was always thinking about food, but I didn't realize how much I was thinking about it until I wasn't thinking about it anymore. I wanted to shout it from the rooftops. I really did because I felt like it was a miracle. It, I just couldn't believe how well it worked. And it felt like it wasn't real. And I wasn't thinking about food. I wasn't hungry. And I just had to tell people, and other people were already doing it, but I didn't even realize that was like a thing. I really didn't. I just had to tell people, and because I was hearing so many negative things about it, and I had never gone onto YouTube to look for people that were talking about their journey. And so the only information that I had ever heard of was like from the media, and they were all negative. And so I just
Mhm.
wanted to share that it didn't have to be that way.
Didn't have to be negative. I agree. I agree. We're glad you did because we love your channel.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, I think we talked a little bit about this. Your end goal is, you said, to get down to 135,
Yeah. About
about 135, and the body fat percentage is what you're trying to target.
right. I want to get down. I don't know if it's possible. We'll see. But if I can get down to 25% body fat, I would be very happy. Right now, I'm at 29% body fat.
Okay. All right. Also, you're super close. You are super
Yeah.
close.
Yeah. It's going a little slower now. I'm not losing the weight as quickly as I was initially. So I'm only losing about a pound, not even every week. Some weeks it'll just be a couple of ounces, if anything. So it's going a little slower, but that's okay. I'm okay with that.
And what dose are you on? Can you tell us, because you titrated up slowly, can you tell us about your decisions? Were you contacting your doctor every time you thought to titrate up or down, or was it just a decision you made based on your body and what you were
So,
feeling?
yeah, we had talked about it. And like I mentioned, I want to be able to get off this medication. And so she felt that if that was my wish, if I wanted to be able to get off the medication, she just thought it would be easier if I stay on the lowest dose just to make that transition a little easier. And so, like the lowest effective dose. And so I've been on 5 milligrams since for 7 months, and it's been working pretty good up until about a month ago or so. And I started to feel like the food noise coming back, a little bit more of the cravings. But at the same time, that kind of coincided with the time where I wasn't doing so great with the protein. So
Okay.
could it be that my body has adapted to 5 and it's no longer effective? Yes. It could also be that I'm really not doing so good with my protein anymore. It could be a combination of the two. So I'm not sure. Was it last week? Yes, it was last week. I tried 7.5. So this gets confusing. I had over the summer, I had thought I was ready to move up to 7.5. And I had emailed my doctor, and she thought that was fine because I had been on 5 milligrams at that point for 4 or 5 months. So she didn't have any problem writing a prescription for 7.5. I took it and I did not have a good reaction. I felt sick to my stomach. I was bloated. I was nauseous. I couldn't eat anything, like barely eating. I didn't like the way I felt. I just felt sick. And so I didn't want to try it again the following week. So I decided to go back to 5 milligrams. So I've had this box of 7.5 sitting in my fridge since the summer. And my last visit, which was, I think it was in September, I had mentioned that I was struggling a little bit with the cravings, especially during my cycle. And so she had suggested that since I have the box of 7.5, that I try the 7.5 during my cycle to see if that makes any difference. And so I did, and I tried that last week. So I was a little worried about it because I wasn't sure if I would have that same like reaction, but I didn't have any of those same symptoms. But I also didn't feel any different. Like I was still, it felt exactly 5 milligrams. It didn't feel any different. So I actually talked about this in my last video, and a couple of people had left comments saying that I should probably try to do it again because sometimes it takes a little while for it to build up in your system. Yeah, so I thought that made sense. And I actually took 7.5 again this morning. Today's Saturday. Yeah, I took it this morning and we'll see how it goes. But I wasn't too impressed with it. I didn't really feel that it was like amazing but we'll see. Maybe this week is a little better and maybe it will build up. So so I have one more 7.5. I think I'll do that again next week. And if I don't feel like it's really any different than 5 milligrams, I'm just going to stay on 5 milligrams.
So can you give us any advice for newbies, someone starting new on Zepbound? What advice would you give them?
Starting out, I would suggest just go slow. I think there's a change now I think initially people were moving up, like their doctors were having them move up every month. And I think that's changing a little bit now, I think, just from what I've read and comments and things. But that's what I would suggest. Go slow so that you don't reach that top dose and you might have still half your goal to lose. So I would say just go slow and focus on protein. Definitely focus on protein because that makes a big difference. And I think if you're debating, especially if you're debating to go up in dose like I am, I think if you can focus on protein at least for a couple of weeks and see if that makes a difference, it might make a difference. And then you don't have to go up in dose, or you could delay it for a month, maybe two. And I guess not to compare. We're all different, and I think all of us are coming into this at different points. And so some of us we have more like metabolic health issues that are going to get in the way of losing weight. If you're insulin resistant or type 2 diabetic or anything like that, that's going to definitely impact how well you're able to, or how quickly you're able to lose the weight. And I think now there's so many channels, so many of us sharing our story, which is a good thing because you see how different it can be for everybody. But then at the same time, you might feel like maybe you're not losing 2 pounds a week, or you're not even losing. I would say don't consume all this content if it's going to have that effect on you, because you want to have a positive outlook and you want to feel hopeful about what's possible. And if watching all these things is going to have the opposite effect, then it's not worth bringing yourself down with that.
I agree. I think that's great advice. Great advice. I
Yeah.
love the tip about titrating up because you don't hear a lot of people say or stress focus on the protein as one of the main factors before you decide. So I think that's a great tip.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
can you tell us one word that would describe you before Zepbound? Like what was your mindset? What's one word that would describe where you were before
Yeah.
Zepbound?
So I just saw your interview with Taisha. I saw it this morning, and I think I would have the same word, like hopeless. I felt really hopeless. I wanted to get better. I wanted to get healthy. I just felt like powerless to do anything about it. And I think I just felt like I almost resigned myself, I think, to just living that way and just being uncomfortable. And yeah, my family is pretty active, and my husband likes to take walks and or hikes and do things. And it was like a beautiful fall day, and we had all the kids and my husband, we went out for this walk, and I had a hard time, and I actually had to turn back. I couldn't continue the walk, and I took my youngest with me, and he was almost like a cover for what was really going on. And
Hmm.
I know that he would have been fine. In fact, he didn't want to leave. He was like crying and screaming because he wanted to stay. But I couldn't continue, and my husband didn't want to be stuck with him either. So he was like, if you go, he has to go. But I definitely downplayed the fact that I couldn't continue the walk because it was embarrassing. Like all my kids, my younger kids are able to do this with no problem. And here I am, my ankles were killing me and my back was killing me. And it wasn't a hike like a big deal. It wasn't
Right,
like
right.
that, but I was just so uncomfortable and out of breath. And yeah, I just felt like after that was probably, yeah, it was in the fall. So I hadn't started Zepbound. I just felt like that was going to be my lot in life because I just didn't think I could do anything to change it. And I had tried, like before starting Zepbound, I had tried different times and it just, I never lasted more than a month or two. So it just felt discouraging.
Yeah, these diets are hard to maintain because you cut things out. I think that's the great thing about being on the medication. You can cut things out if that's the route you choose to go, but you don't have to be
Right.
successful. And I
Right.
think that's what makes it attainable for a lot of us. And
Yeah.
so, what word would you use to describe yourself now?
Hopeful. I think hopeful.
You went
You
from
know,
hopeless to hopeful.
yeah, yeah. I really think that I could see I have things I want to do and I feel like I can do them now. And I know that I've talked about this before, but one of them is horses. I love horses and I want a horse so bad. And I would not have been able to even think about this. Like I wouldn't even allow myself to think about it because it just seemed so unrealistic. And it was at 214 pounds and just being really unhealthy, it was unrealistic. But now I'm starting to see that I can do that. And I feel really good about that. And it's really like a dream that I've had for a long time that I've never, I guess my family knows I like horses, but I don't think they realize how much because I never really, I didn't want to give it too much energy because I knew that I really couldn't, that
You thought
wasn't
it
like
was
a
out of
reality.
reach.
Yeah, exactly. And now I feel like it is. And so I'm just like so excited about that.
Wow. Well, that's awesome. That what a great
Yeah.
testimony. No wonder you started a YouTube channel. You were so excited about the medication.
Yeah.
Well, I wonder what's the best thing about Zepbound? What would you say the best thing about it is?
Yeah, the best thing is the lack of the food noise. Of course, the losing weight, of course, but really just not constantly thinking about food. There's a lot of freedom in that. And like before, I was constantly thinking about it, and then I would try not to think about it, but you're thinking about it more then because you're trying to focus on other things, but you're almost like more aware of it. And I think now that I don't have that issue anymore. I have more space in my brain to think of other things. So that has been amazing. And I think the medication just gives you, it gives me anyway, the ability to make better choices because I have more self control. And I realize that I don't have to eat this. Like I could if I want to, but I could also eat something better for me, something with like less calories or more protein. And I'm able to make that choice. I wasn't able to do that before. I didn't, it's not that I didn't know what was good or what was healthy. I just couldn't make that choice. And I feel like now I can. So for sure, that's been the best part of it.
I think freeing up your mind is a great point. I think I've said that before too. I have all kind of free time in my mind. I'm not planning
Yeah,
my next meal and thinking what I'm
it's true.
gonna have for
Yeah.
dinner or planning to go to a restaurant or planning to do something related to food. I feel like now that it's not on my mind, I realize how much it was on my mind.
Yeah,
And yeah, that
definitely.
is great. Now, what about the worst thing? If you had to say there was a worst thing or something that was a bad thing about Zepbound, what would it be?
A bad thing. I don't know. I really haven't. Maybe dealing with some of the negativity. I think, especially if people find out that you're on it and they might not be so supportive. I think I've had a couple of comments from people saying that they haven't told anybody that they're on the medication because they don't want to deal with that. So I think just like just the negative outlook that people have can be hard. I thankfully haven't had that issue, but I know it's an issue that a lot of people have to deal with, especially if you're out and you're working and people are noticing that you're losing weight and maybe you don't feel like you want to tell them, so now you're not mentioning it and now you feel like you're lying, and it's just that's probably, I would imagine, that's the worst part of it. Definitely, I don't think it's side effects. I know that some people do, but I think if you do this smart and you change some of your eating habits, and I'm not saying you have to overhaul your whole diet, but like maybe avoid the greasy foods if they upset your stomach, or don't have them all the time. I think if you do it that way, I really don't think side effects have to be a part of it, especially not to the degree that you hear about, like on the news with all these like stomach paralysis and
Mhm.
gastroparesis or whatever it's called. So I don't think it has to be that way.
I agree. I agree. I have a question for you that's not your traditional question, so you might have to think about this, but would you rather lose weight slowly but steadily or lose weight quickly with challenges?
Oh wow. The right answer should be slowly and slow and steady. That should probably be, that probably is the right answer. But the quickly with challenges is tempting. The mature part of me would say slow and steady. The
Mhm.
impatient part of me would say I'll deal with the challenges. But that's a good question. That's a good question. I'm not sure about that one.
So with your own weight loss journey, which one does your weight loss journey reflect? Slow and steady or quick with challenges?
Yeah, I would say definitely slow and steady. Aside from that first week or two where I lost a bunch of weight, it's been about 2 pounds a week pretty consistently. And then now it's a lot less than that. But yeah, I would say slow and steady, which is fine because that's probably more sustainable anyway.
So how do you handle the weeks when you don't lose?
Yeah, that could get discouraging for anybody. I just trust the process. I just make sure that I'm not getting in my head and not stressing too much about it, because I know now that a lot of things can affect that water retention, or if you still have cycles, that can. So I just try not to focus on it. I did have, I think it was it was my fourth month where I didn't lose any weight that whole month. And I think the old me would have been really stressed out about that. And I probably would have had that as an excuse to just give up. But I guess having the medication makes me feel like I'm going to be successful. And so when I have those weeks where the scale is not moving, or maybe it's going up and down, I really don't stress about it. I know eventually, if I just keep doing what I'm doing and not give up, it'll keep moving again. It might take a little while, but it'll keep moving again. So I definitely think that the medication gives me that reassurance that I can do this.
Yeah, I agree with that. So is there anything else you want to share with us? Anything else you want to tell us?
Yeah, I would just encourage anybody, if they're thinking about this medication and they're on the fence and they're not sure because of things that they've heard, I would say to give it a, I was going to say give it a shot, but I think it's definitely worth it, because you could always get off the medication, right? So it's not like you can get on it, and if it's absolutely not working out for you for whatever reason, you could just stop. Like, it's not going to do any kind of damage for you to you. So I would say try it and see if it works for you, because it really has been life changing for me and a lot of other people. So I would
Sure.
say,
Yeah.
yeah, don't stress about all the negative things you hear about it, and see if it's an option for you.
I agree. I agree. So before we go, can you tell us about your channel? Your channel is fabulous. I just
Thank
love
you.
it. I think you're so real. You're so honest. And a lot of times when I look on your thumbnails, I'll say, "Oh, Jill, I wonder what happened with," or I'll listen with her.
Yeah.
Because you're so real and so raw, and I love that, because a lot of times when you don't lose every week, you feel the pressure, and I don't feel it as much, but I definitely did when I first started, felt the pressure of, I have to report something, I'm not gonna
Yeah.
report a loss. But then I thought to myself, this is a realistic weight loss
Yeah.
journey. Very few people have a straight line of success in anything we do. Any
Yeah.
successful person, they're gonna have, it's gonna be like a roller coaster. That's what the line is gonna look like. It's probably not gonna be straight.
Yeah.
So when I think about that, it puts everything in perspective. So how do
That's
you deal with that?
Yeah, yeah. Sometimes I feel I've had weeks where I'm up a pound or two and then it comes down and then it goes up. And so sometimes it feels like it's, I don't know, like not what people want to see. Like they want to see something more motivational than that. But I think it's like you said, a weight loss journey is never going to look like that. It's just not, and it's not real life. And I think people can relate more to the up and down or just the stalls than they would if you're just like every week saying I lost another 2 pounds, and that might get discouraging for some people. So I think I just wanted to share exactly what's going on. And I didn't want to have to pretend. I wanted it to be real life and happen in real time. And so whatever happens from week to week is what I share, good or bad.
All right, very good. Subscribe to her channel. She's
Thank
2.0
you.
mommy. We love her channel. We love your outlook. You're so calm and you have such a calming, spirit. You're so positive. I love that. And you said you were like an introvert and pretty shy, and I would consider myself that too, believe it or not. Like
Yeah,
very shy. I said to my cousin, I asked her if she thought I was an introvert, and I feel like gaining weight has made me become an introvert. I was not always like that. But I've
yeah,
always had this thing about being around crowds. And she said, I wouldn't call you an introvert. I would say you're very shy. And so I can relate to you on that.
yeah.
Although most people wouldn't believe it, because once I'm around and amongst people, I'm outgoing.
Yeah, yeah,
No
yeah.
holding me back. But it takes a lot to get to that. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? Like
Yeah,
I said, especially with the weight, it just really had made me very just want to stay at home and be by myself and not
yeah.
really be as social. So yeah.
Yeah, definitely see that. I know that kept me from wanting to do a lot of things or go places. I just didn't want to put myself out there. So I can see that.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you so much. I enjoyed interviewing you. I
Thank
couldn't wait
you.
to chat with you. You
Thank
are
you.
just such an inspiration. You showing up in the chat. You've been one of those people that have just supported me from day one, and I really do
Thank
appreciate it. I look forward to your comments and I look forward to your videos. We're
you.
just
Great
here
community.
supporting each other. So I guess I will say not goodbye, but see you in the next video.
Yes. Okay. Sounds good.
Okay. Thank you. Hello. Oh my gosh, that was so awesome. Jill, it's in the chat. So if you have questions that I didn't ask, you might want to ask her. We have her for a few more minutes to ask her any questions you want. Um, I just love her positivity. And she has 10 children. I mean, she puts me to shame. I complain about being so busy with my daughter, and it's just one. And then here, this lady has 10 children, and she has some children that, require more time and attention. And then she also homeschools. So kudos to you. I give you a lot of credit, Jill. You're an inspiration. And when I was looking online, there are a lot of moms. I don't know if you made this connection, Jill, but there are a lot of moms online that are moms of 10 children. I thought that was fascinating. I didn't realize that. So I don't know if you're a part of that community, but I guarantee you, maybe you can get something from that. Geez Louise, because I'm coming to you for all the mom advice. And then you have such a span of ages. So we just love you. Moms are often underrated. We're multitaskers. I think if somebody's a mom and they're trying to, do something or create something, I think for sure they can do it, because, you have to have so many great skills for mothering. So any questions for Jill in the chat? Everybody is just saying thank you to Jill. Oh, I will put some of these comments up here. Diva, were you not always overweight? Well, I was. I'm gonna do a video about this because I've transitioned over time. Like, so when I was in high school, when I was younger, I was chunky, like, chubby, what they would call chubby. And then I don't know if anybody else had this experience, but one day I don't know if maybe I was 14, 15. I just kind of popped out and like slimmed down, and I just had all the curves. Like, do you guys know that Commodore song? Like, she's a brick house. Like, that could have been my theme song. But I was so young. I got so much attention from the boys that it kind of turned me off. It's just like not the best experience. And then when I got into high school, I kept those curves. And then when I got to college, that's when I put on, they say it's a freshman 15. I think I put on a freshman like 50, a lot of weight. And then it's just been up and down since then. So Pretty much though, I would say yes. My whole life I've been chunkier, and just way more than I should. I've never probably been the standard weight that a doctor would tell you because I didn't ask Jill that because she's close to. I think I may even have talked to her about that, but she's close to what the medical the medical field says you should be, what the doctors will tell you you should be. I don't think I've ever been within that range, but everybody else in my family, except for one cousin, is super thin. Like my mom was slim, my dad was slim, just everybody, has been slim. And it's just me. So it's not genetics. And, I remember my mom taking me to the doctor one time to see if I had a thyroid issue, and I did not. So it wasn't my thyroid. So now I understand what it is. It's a bunch of things. But, geez, I mean, I just think, so many changes a woman's body goes through. And a lot of women gain when they're having children, that's kind of sparks it. Well, for me, it was just the stress of managing college. So, and I know in Jill, in her interview, she talked about, having children and, and then she had, 10 children. So, now I'm sure she's feeling like she's coming into her own. She could just kind of, Jill, do you feel like you kind of can take your body back now that you're done? I'm assuming you're done having children. We didn't talk about that, but that's the impression I got. She said she has 6 boys and 4 girls. Her 4 youngest are boys. Oh my goodness. So that's nuts. So Jill, are you done having children? Do you think you would, have any more? Because I feel like you've taken your body, back and you're into the self-care. And so I don't know. Jill said Jill looks much taller. Yes, I'm 5'5" too, and I'm pretty short. She said Jill says yes, she is done. Oh, okay. Delilah says there's a curse in my family. I'm breaking it. Most of the women are overweight and the men are mostly standard size. It's crazy. Well, that's good. You're breaking it. That is good. That is good. And feel like I'm breaking that with my daughter. My daughter is, doesn't have weight issues, and she eats salads and vegetables, and all of that is because, I exposed her to that, and that's what she eats. That's what she is her normal. And I wish I hadn't exposed her to so many sugary things. And I did want to say this to Taisha. Is Simply Taisha still here? My daughter was eating a piece of chicken on, I want to say it was a couple of days ago, and she comes to where I'm at, and she says, "Mommy, there is something in my chicken." She's like, "I think it's his vein." And I said, "Well, honey, don't eat it." And she was so grossed out. So now she's kind of looking at me and giving it the side eye. So I said, I might have to hook her up with Simply Taisha. But she's more aware of her food and what she's putting into her body than I ever was at 7. At 7. At 7. I mean, she'll like look at the menu for school and say, "I don't know if that's healthy. I don't know. I think I should pack." Um, so yeah, I'm with you. I'm trying to break that curse. Any more questions for Jill? Jill says, I should put these up. Let me put this. Did I put that up? He said, okay, she said, I'm the oldest. Wait, I was going with Jill's comment. I'm sorry. She says, I feel like I can finally put my body back together. LOL. Yes, I was wondering if you felt that. I was wondering. All right, so back to Delilah. I'm the oldest of 3. One brother is 11 months younger than me, and the youngest is 20 years younger. Wow, 20 years younger. Wow, that is starting over for sure. Wow. 5'2", that's short. That is true. You don't look like you would be 5'2" either. People always look, I think people look a little bit chunkier, and they also look taller on video for some reason, TV. That's amazing. Keep it up, Diva, because that's the way to break the generational curses. Yes, I am trying. Simply Taisha says, of course. Yeah, you'll have to talk to her about that. I think she's thinking about, cutting back or cutting it off. 2.0 Mommy says, Val, that's cool. I only have one sister and a hubby, only one brother. So neither of us come from big families. I've always wanted a huge, big, family. and I didn't even have one myself. So now, Jill, you have that huge family you've created. You have 11 people living in your house. Like, I just don't know. Everything always looks clean and pristine. And so you're doing a good job of managing all of that. Uh, Val says, I love that we are all prioritizing our health. Think of the example we could be for our family who may be struggling with weight. Yes, that is so true. That is so awesome. Same Val. And then 2.0 Mommy is agreeing as well. Jill, that is so incredible that you and your husband come from small families. Awesome. Very good. Now, I don't know if I missed any of the questions. Anybody else have any questions for Jill? One thing that stood out to me in Jill's interview is when she talked about how, she doesn't eat out a lot. Her family doesn't because, with such a large family, she said it's so expensive. And I could truly see that. I feel like, it is expensive for like just when my daughter and I just, get takeout. And we haven't been doing very much of that since I started this journey. I've really, really cut back. And so, yeah, I just can't imagine a family of 11 going out to dinner, how much that would be. That would, be a fortune. And you're right. You could buy groceries probably to last a couple of weeks than what you would for a night out. So when you go out, I'm sure it's a special treat. But, just it was a different perspective that I had not thought about. So Nerd says, curious to know if anybody is going to watch and give a review of The Weight of the World on Hulu. I didn't know anything about that. You said it's on Hulu. Has it already started? Is it already out? That I don't know. Nerd, I got them download now. Okay, haven't heard of it. I'll try to maybe catch up with that after this. Nerd Startup, Incubator. I hadn't heard about it. I'll have to look it up. So will I. That's pretty cool. Thanks for sharing that. Kofia says, gonna back them down, y'all. Great interview, ladies. Oh, Kofia is probably gonna be up early, bright and early in the morning. It is expensive to eat out, isn't it? It's just ridiculous. It's expensive to go to the grocery store, but I mean, if you just had to pick one or the other, that eating out is expensive. Mindy says she's gonna be checking it out. We're all gonna be checking it out. We're gonna be over at Hulu checking that out. Haven't heard of that either. No. She said, oh, it's on Hulu and FX. It started last night. Okay. She's saying, yep, it's a part of the New York Times Presents. Oh my gosh. Now I have not heard. Nerd, how did you hear about that? Was it advertised somewhere? I don't watch very much regular TV anymore. Simply Taisha says, thank you, VS006. And that is Val. Yeah, I wonder. I haven't heard that advertised at all, but I am going to tune into it. I wonder what it's about. I'm sure it's about weight, but I mean, what angle are they coming from with this weight? All right. So, anybody have anything else to share? It just anything you want to share. You want to, ask someone a question. We have Simply Taisha on here. I don't know. Kofia left. I know Alonda might still be on here. I haven't seen her in the chat here recently. Any other questions for anybody? Okay, let me see. I'm gonna scroll down. I see some new comments. Oh, you heard I'm not on Reddit. Like what? I don't so when you go on Reddit, is there a certain stream, like a certain word I should type in? Because when I've gone on Reddit and I've typed in like, any of the GOP ones, I don't see the stream popping like everybody says. I'm like, is there a separate stream where it's popping? Because I never find that stream. My streams are so boring. I'm like, where are all the the people at talking? So I must be in the wrong ones. Mindy says it's about GOP1. Okay, perfect. I definitely want to watch that. I wonder if are they pro GOP1 or negative, or they're just giving like the balance side. Nerd says good, bad, and ugly. Oh, okay. So, how do you get? What do I type in? Delilah might know. When you're in Reddit, what do I type in? I don't know. Like is there like a certain thread? Is there like a certain thing that you do? All right, so here's the update. Weight of the world. The ascent of GLP-1 medications such as Ozempic has brought about a transformation within the weight loss industry and beyond, reshaping societal views and health and body image. Oh my goodness. Okay, very good. That might sound like it's pro. I don't know. 2.0 mommy says it sounds good. It does sound good. You'll have to all tune into that. All right. Anything else for the cause? Going once, going twice. I think this is so cool to be able to talk to her after her interview. I think we covered everything. We were pretty thorough on there. Um, let's see. We got some new comments. Val says, "Oh, Val, yeah, give some shout outs. Yeah, let's get some shout outs for the weight loss." Val says, "I'm down 18 pounds officially, lost 2 pounds last week. The current weight is 265 to go." Wow, very good. It feels so good to know this is actually working. It is a good feeling. It is a good feeling. 18 pounds. So you probably are feeling like your clothes, very loosening up there. You're probably noticing, some non-scale victories with that 18 pounds too. Depending on, well, you're at 200, so yeah, you're noticing that for sure. Sometimes now they say if you lose 10 pounds, that's a dress size. Have you noticed that you are down a size because you're at 18? So R Mounjaro, the prompt for Reddit. Okay, that helps. I was just putting in Mounjaro. What does the R mean? Does that mean Reddit? Maybe that's where I'm going wrong. I really enjoyed this premiere. Seemed like the way to go. Oh, could be, could be. Congratulations, BS. Yes, I love that. Congratulations, Val. That's amazing. Yay, Val. Everybody say congratulations to Val. Nadia, Simply Taisha. Thank you. Yep, pants are feeling loose and tops for sure. And you're 5'7", so you're on the taller side. Um, you're on the taller side. I think that's isn't that considered tall for a lady? To be 5'7", like not tall, but kind of tall. Oh, I love that. I was 5'5", and then I kind of shrunk down. So now I'm 5'4.5". They say that's typical once you get older, you start to shrink. Oh, Simply Taisha said we're the same height. And Taisha, I see you as being tall. So that's only for small people. The bigger the size, the more weight it takes to change sizes. That's why I was asking her, but she's at 200. So I don't know. That's why I wanted to know because yeah, I was thinking that. So when people say that, I'm like, I wonder, what size they're talking about. Every 1 pound loss is about 4 pounds less pressure on the joints. Now that is a good fact, and I believe it because that's one of the first things I started to notice when I started taking Mounjaro was the joints, like the pressure on my joints, even before I was significant weight loss. So that explains it because the weight loss wasn't significant. I might have been 10 pounds in when I started just noticing. And I don't really, I won't even call it noticing it. I didn't notice it was not hurting. I didn't notice, it was gone. I noticed it wasn't really hurting. I don't know if you understand what that means. Like, I'm just going about my day. And then one day I thought, well, my knees don't hurt. And I was just like, wow, what in the world happened? So that's pretty cool. That's a good fact. I'm going to put that back up there. 2.0 Mommy says every 1 pound loss is about 4 pounds less pressure on those joints. Simply Taisha said 216 pounds less pressure. Woohoo! I love that. No, did she say 216? Wait, did she say that? Yes, she did. Okay. All right. I'm just making sure I'm reading this correctly. I should be wearing my glasses for some of this stuff, but that's neither here nor there. There's a great piece of that's a great piece of information. That was a good nugget. She's dropping gems, as I love to say. Yes, it has helped me tremendously with my osteoporosis. I bet. That's pretty cool. And Jill says, wow. She says, 264 pounds less pressure for you, Jill. Yes, yes. Oh my God, 660 pounds of pressure off. Oh man. That is so cool. That's a great way to look at it. That's one of those non-scale victories. Love that. And I got to keep that 660 plus pounds. That is so super cool. I saw this lady the other day. She's a content creator. I can't remember her name. I saw her. Oh, I have to go back and look. Because I would definitely shout her out. I can't remember, but anyway, she lost 200 pounds and she was wheelchair bound, and now she is not. And she's making videos. She had, like, I think she had 2 knee replacements. Can you imagine 2 knee replacements? I'm pretty sure it was two. And I just thought, like, this lady is amazing. I mean, oh my goodness, the fact that she was up and she was so excited, and she was playing this gospel song in the back, and the background of her. I don't know if it was a TikTok or it might not have been TikTok because I'm not on TikTok like that. Maybe it was TikTok. I can't remember. When I say I'm not like that on there, like I just have like a TikTok profile. I don't really, it's not Downsizing Diva either. And I don't really post on it, but it may have been a YouTube short. And so I thought, wow, this lady is that you? Was it you? That's you, Debbie's Weight Loss Revolution. No way. Hello. Oh my goodness. That is so funny. I am so glad you are in here. What is up? I was like, oh, I gotta follow this lady and just see what's going on. You played that gospel song and got emotional, and you took me back to church. I was like, what in the world is going on? That just like made my heart smile. So good for you. So anybody on here, look up Debbie's Weight Loss Revolution. Let's invite her into our GLP-1 community. Welcome her and follow her. Your story is a great one. It's a great one. You have to do an interview with me and share that story. Oh my goodness. But that gospel music, I don't know how you picked that out, but it was just perfect for the story you were trying to tell. Isn't music great? Music has a great way of doing that. But that like touched my heart. That really touched my heart. So welcome, Debbie. He says, "Oh, I want to find her now." We don't have to. She's in the chat. She is in the chat. Here you go. Oh, everybody's saying incredible. Oh, that's great, Debbie. She says, "Yes, it hit her heart." I could tell. I mean, we all know our stories and what we've been through. And doesn't it take that one special song or, thought, memory, and then that song just kind of like tells your story to just get those tears flowing and, being grateful. Like that's my somebody asked me what my word of 2005 will be. And I can't just say one. It's grateful, thankful, and blessed because that's what I feel like I am. And so, um, hoping you, yeah, go sub to her channel. Go sub to her channel. That is so awesome. Debbie, we're going to your channel. We're all subbing. I think I'm already a sub. I think we've talked. I think so. I'm pretty sure I sub, but we're going to her channel and then we're going to watch Hulu, Debbie. Well, we're going to watch Hulu. Have you watched that already? Um, Everybody is saying, looking forward to meeting you, Debbie. Delilah found you now. You have another subby. Thanks, you guys. I'm so happy. A whole new life. Yes, yes. I think we're all finding out now. Even if you don't have 200 pounds to lose, you'd be amazed that, like 50 pounds, 40 pounds, all of that. It is a new life because you get that movement. You can move more. You can maneuver more. You feel that confidence. Um, you just feel a lot going on it's just so positive with that weight loss. And just think, I was thinking too, another thing is, you know, um, And sometimes people have said like overweight people. Have you guys heard this before? I've heard people say that, oh, like people will say I'm a little different because I smile pretty much all the time. I don't really, sit with the frown. It's just me. As it's no judgment if anybody else does. This has just been me. I've always had that big smile. But people have said like overweight people tend to look very mean and mad all the time. And I'm thinking, I see why. I can see why. You are carrying around so much extra weight, that extra baggage. That has to be it's hard. It is hard. And so on top of everything else that life throws at you, you're also dealing with that. And if you think about it, she lost 200 pounds. Can you imagine? We can't even carry 200 pounds of potatoes. Like to carry, that's a whole nother person. That's a whole nother person that she is carrying around. So when people say that, I always think that people who say things like that probably never had a weight issue, because if they did, they would be able to relate, to that. Those are mine too. Thank you, grateful. Yes. Oh, we have that in common. Yes, for sure. And thankful does. I put that first. Thankful, grateful, and blessed. I said when people start asking me how I'm doing, I always say, "Oh, great. Oh, fine." I'm going to start saying that because that is the truth. Plus, I think too, whatever you say and repeat, you believe it and you know it to be true. And not that I need to believe that, because I really do believe that, but the more you say it, the more it is, right? And the more it is. Um, Debbie says, no more wheelchairs or walkers. Yes, yes. That has to be the best feeling ever. The best feeling ever. A lot of times when I see people that are wheelchair bound and can't walk, I think, any excuse about not getting up and doing some kind of movement should be out the window. It should be out the window. And so that's why we need to see all these different content creators with different stories, because they motivate us, right, in different ways. And I think that is so true. Everybody has their own their own story to tell. So I hope more people will get online and start sharing their GLP-1 journeys or just weight loss. I mean, this is a GLP-1 community. I don't know if there are people in here that have lost weight without a GLP-1, but we are all in this together. We are all in this together. If you have a weight loss story, I don't care how you lost it, we probably can relate, because we have some of the same issues that probably got us, to being overweight. I thought I only needed 200 to lose. I'm 165 pounds down, and now I'm still 200 pounds from the range of where I want to be. Oh my gosh, that's okay. Keep going. If you're 165 pounds down, you could lose however much you want to. There is no stopping you. That is definitely the truth. So you keep going. You keep going. You will get there. Such a blessing. Congratulations, Debbie. That's from Z. Um, Mindy subscribed too. Loose skin surgery next. Thank you guys. So you're having the loose skin surgery. Oh my goodness. Are you going to share that journey on your YouTube channel? Are you going to do that, Debbie? I'd be interested to know. Power through words. Exactly. Exactly. 2.0 mommy says 1 pound at a time, Delilah, inch by inch and pound by pound. You got this, right? That's the great Dr. Seuss. Inch by inch, life is a cinch, pound by pound, life is hard. But he doesn't say pound by pound. He says yard by yard. But yeah, take things inch by inch. I think the best thing about our community is that we love to share non-scale victories. So those inches, like I haven't measured my inches. I'm going to do that and take my my inches lost. I think that's going to be my 1-year anniversary gift to myself. And just think about all those inches that you probably have lost. And so I would focus on those and get some measurements in there to help you when you're not losing the way you want to lose. That'll definitely give you a boost. Let's see. Okay, Nadia says she's subscribed. Yes, yes, yes. We want to know. Are you going to share your your hanging skin surgery journey? Because I think a lot of people would benefit from that. And I see she made a comment down there. I'll get to that. Thanks, Jill. Once this surgery recovery has been completed, it's like it's on like Donkey Kong. I remember that saying. That's so cool. All right, she's cheering you on. Yes, you'll get there. He's okay. Thank you, Nadia. Um, Debbie says she's sharing it all. So 120 naturally, then 50 pounds with the GLP-1. So it's more important than that. I guess I can't math. So wait, it's more than that. So I guess I can't math. Oh, well, that's good. That is good. That we'll take it. All that weight loss adds up. 100% non-scale victories are key. Yes, it is. When you get, discouraged, those non-scale victories are key. I said I was going to hang up, and I have it hanging in my daughter's room and on the back of her door. I need to put it in, my office area where I spend a lot of time. And I said I was going to hang up some clothes that do not fit, and that's my motivation to get in. But also, people do that a lot, right? They have like a what do you call that? A go outfit, a go dress, or whatever, suit or pants or whatever. But I'm also going to hang up like next to it the something that was super huge, and I'm going to get in that bad baby, and I'm going to remind myself I might be feeling fat today, but I wasn't this fat. Or this big. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to put that, that up so, I can remind myself. Some of the shirts and the clothes that I have are just kind of like like big sweats. Like they don't even fit. They don't really look right, but I'm going to try to wear as many of them as I can before I have to let them go. Because some of them are new, or I may have worn one time because they were too tight. Now they went from, don't you guys have clothes like that went from too tight to now they're too loose? But so yeah, so that's what I'm gonna do for myself. I have a gold outfit, a dress that's hanging, and put it on there. And if I put Spanx on with it, I could wear it out. I probably just wouldn't because I don't wear tight clothes. But it's a nice fitting dress. And then I'm gonna put this one outfit that is too big. And like I said, if I don't meet my goal for Turkey Day, I'm gonna be putting on that big outfit. Like I might not have met my goal of 50 pounds yet, but hey, look at this outfit. It is super big. But I think I am gonna meet my goal. I don't know. I'm gonna be very close to it. We shall see. I'm not expecting big things tomorrow. So, if you guys are Sunday, tomorrow at 1:00, I'll be live to talk about my update. I'm trying to get down 50 pounds by Thanksgiving. And, I was talking to one of my friends today, and she said, "Oh, she's like, you're going to do it." And I said, well, yeah, but it's going to be a nail biter. It won't probably be all tomorrow. This was one of the most stressful weeks I've had in a long time. And I don't know if you guys were in my live on Wednesday, but I talked about micro habits. And one of my micro habits was challenged this week. It was, the micro habit of waiting 24 hours before you respond to something. And I said in an email or a phone call, well, somebody called me and took me there in the most professional way. I mean, I was upset, with this phone call. And I said, geez, Louise, I should have told this lady to call me back because I didn't really have a chance to calm my thoughts down before I, spoke to her. But, I wasn't mean or anything like that. I just was very, as a matter of fact, in the most professional way. And then this is one other thing that happened. I was trying to record a video really quick, just kind of, just talk about where I was. And my daughter's in aftercare. And so I parked off to the side because I didn't, I don't want to drive and record. And so I parked off to the side and I went to give a what do you call it? Do the video, and I recorded the video with no sound. So I couldn't play it. I couldn't, I can't share it because it had no sound. So I go in there to get my daughter, and the guy says to me, now mind you, it's maybe like 5:30-ish. I don't even know if it was 5:30. She has to be picked up by 6:00. It was maybe 5:20. And he said, were you the car that was parked, in the parking lot? And I said, yes. And he's like, Oh, he's like, "So you didn't wanna get your daughter and then go get in the car. You sat out there and, and now you're getting her." And my 24-hour rule kicked in because, I wanted to tell him as much money as I spend on this before and after care, and it's so many days that they don't have the before and after care, but they still charge you. If anybody knows about a daycare and how they operate after and before care, how they operate, if they close down, which they have this year, I think 2 times unexpectedly, they still charge you. You don't get a discount. This is the nicest guy. The next day, I had a chance to calm it down. I didn't say anything. And I just said, "Oh, okay." I just kind of, said, "Oh," just laughed it off. And I thought to myself, like, did he really realize what he just said to me? Because first of all, I'm not late. Second of all, you're responsible and I'm paying you till 6 o'clock. And it wasn't like she was the only child in there waiting to be picked up. There were other kids in there. So it wasn't like he was like waiting to leave and she was there. So anyway, the next day we had the nicest conversation, and I haven't said anything to him about it, but I plan to. And by that time, I won't be, annoyed at all. I'm still just a little bit annoyed, and I know he was joking. Like I said, we had the best conversation the next day, that morning. But I just thought, like, come on, really, really, really. So yeah, that micro habit of waiting is very good. So now I have to work on when somebody calls me. Because if I'm responding to an email, I'm gonna wait if I'm upset. If I'm responding to, if I have to make a phone call, I'm not gonna call until I can. But if I pick up my phone and you catch me and you say something that I know for a fact is not, the way to go, the way we should be discussing it, or something that's inaccurate, I might just have to let you know. And that 24 hours is not going to fly. And that's what happened. So that kind of stressed me out because I was thinking, like, I wish that I had, imposed my 24-hour rule. But anyway, I had to say that. I had to tell you guys that. Now back to Debbie. Debbie said, I remember she made a comment about her hanging skin. And if I'm not mistaken, Debbie said that she would still share. Yes, I'm sharing it all. Yes, she's sharing it all. So if you're somebody who's thinking about having a skin removal surgery, check out Debbie's Weight Loss Revolution. She will be sharing that. Wow, I'm just impressed by that. I don't know if I said that before, but I just wanted to bring that up again because I always wonder what the process is, what people go through. Is your insurance covering that? I know some people told me before that I've heard that it has been covered, but it has to be a situation where it affects your health. It affects something health wise. You just can't say, oh, for vanity reasons, you want to go in and get your hanging skin removed. Now, maybe that's different now. I don't know, but I just thought I'd ask. Hello, lifestyle for a living. Yes, lifestyle for living. Hello. I do measurements monthly in my overview of the month. That's pretty cool. Yeah, that's good. I haven't done that. Isn't it funny when I started out on this GLP-1 journey, document my journey, I was taking my measurements, I was taking, weighing in, I was faithful, I just had my schedule. And then now, once I started becoming a content creator, I just have so much to do that I just have gotten away from that. Um, you've got this, Dee Dee. Yes, I hope so. That's a great idea. I think you're talking about the having your go outfit and then an oversized outfit right next to it. Yeah. If you haven't tried that, you should do it. I think that's what kind of motivates me too. But like I said, I have one of them hanging behind my daughter's door. So now I'm going to move it side by side. That's so cool, Debbie. I have a savings set up for mine because I know I'll need it and would love to watch your journey through that. Yes. Oh, so that's a great connection. How about that? I love that. And I'm saying now I wouldn't do that, but I don't know. You never know what you would do. Um, let's see. That's a great idea, Diva. Thank you. We need a picture, DD. Yes. So when I get down to, and this, I did take a before picture. I just didn't share. Actually, my daughter is my photographer. She took a before picture of me in this gold dress. And like I said, if I had on Spanx, I could make it work. I had on heels and everything. I took this picture, and I'm not gonna post it until I have the after. So you could be like, bam, with the before and bam with the after. It's a tight fitting dress. That's cute. It's for me. I like it. Um, he's I have a video about Delilah says I have a video about sticking to your goals and still enjoying friends, family, and food over the holidays because so many of us can't imagine doing them all. Yes, and we have to check that out. Any tips can be super helpful because it's people say things and you might think, oh, we know the tips, but people often I find have things to share that you didn't think of, and you're like, why not think of that? So we're gonna watch that. I love it. Um, oops, I mean coming out this week is not up. Okay, it's coming out. Perfect, perfect. Thanks for letting us know. I think Taisha is saying, what the heck about the guy telling me to, you were out there and you didn't come in and get your daughter. Like, yeah, yeah, dude, I'm paying you till 6 o'clock. Delilah, that's amazing. Just have to keep consistent. No matter what tool we use, we still have to eat or healthier and move. The gym has made a huge difference. Well, strength training. So, what point, Debbie, did you start working out? Because, a lot of people, I think if you lose fast and especially if you're older now, Delilah, I don't know, you had a lot to lose. So that's probably why you have hanging skin. But I know some people who've lost a significant amount of weight, and they don't really have a lot of hanging skin, and they didn't necessarily, I guess that's probably just genetics or maybe what they were eating. They weren't doing a whole lot of exercises or, doing anything so strenuous. So, but they don't really have hanging skin like that, and I want that to be me. And right now, I don't really have, skin that's hanging, but I haven't lost all the weight either. So who knows what it's going to be? Although my arms are jiggly, so I need to start lifting to get those arms, adding weights to my push-ups because I'm just doing like my body weight right now. I need to follow you guys back. Yes, yes, yes. You could go back and watch this chat too, if you can't do it now. But I don't know if you can see who's subscribing to you or not. Well, if there's a way you can, but that's another training for another day. Strength training is so important, Delilah says, and I never thought it was as important as it is. It is. It is. Daycare is so expensive. And the thing that really upsets me about the daycare is it's so expensive, but they don't pay the people that work there a lot of money at all. I mean, they really don't. So it's like, what are they spending that money on? I say spend it on the people that is spending time and taking care of the children. Like, whatever happened to that? Oh, hello, hello. Healthy lifestyle for living, I should say. And then Delilah says, hello. All right, let's see. Debbie says, yes, most of it, hopefully, you have to have your doctor's recommendation. Okay. And then so for insurance to cover it, right? You have to have your doctor's recommendation. Debbie says, how are you guys following without losing the live? LOL. Oh, so she's saying so she's asking, how did you go out of this live and follow? Or maybe they had another computer, because like I'm on a computer, but I have my phone here. So if they were on a computer, they have their phone. Or if they were on their phone, they may have their computer. So, but I'm sure they'll tell you in the chat, but that's just what the first thought that came to my mind. Yep, that was directed at that guy. Yes, simply Taisha. Good grief. Hey, Debbie, I don't know. I'll do it afterward. Alonda says, Delilah has great content. She also gives virtual hugs in her videos, which I think is so cute. Warms my heart. Aw, that is cute. Hi, Alonda. I agree. She's got such a big heart. Aw. Delilah says, I just can't do a video without giving a digital hug, Alonda. I feel I'm completely without it. And thanks. And thanks, that's very kind of you. Love it. Um, oh, incomplete. Okay. I feel I'm incomplete without. Okay, that makes more sense. I'm like, is this my glasses? Sometimes you read things and you're like, wait a minute. Delilah says, I just can't do a video without giving you a digital hug, Alonda. I feel incomplete without it. And thanks. That's very kind of you. Okay. Okay. We got it. Debbie's Weight Loss Revolution. I also just subscribe. I'll be viewing tomorrow. Yes. And I have so many people to watch. It's just like I got to get all this in. You're trying to get all these people in. But I'll be watching. And when I'm on my little Thanksgiving break, I plan to catch up with a lot of people. I just shrunk the video down and I used the search function. Okay, so she shrunk it down so she could use the video function. Okay, okay. Um, I bet you she's probably afraid to do that though. She's not really tech savvy. I just subscribed. Very good. All right. So you have about 10 good, at least people in the chat that should have subscribed to your channel. So that is perfect. You guys have to go back and watch that video with the, and I want to say it might be a YouTube short. Like that just really just tugged at my heart. I love it. Pam says, I had wished I caught you sooner. I better check my notifications. Yes, click that notification bell. And Pam, you have to join us on Wednesdays. We're live on Wednesdays. And then you have to join Simply Taisha. She's live on Monday. So that's why I'll be Sunday. Come join me on Sunday at 1. I'll be giving my weight loss update. And then Wednesday and Monday, we're at Simply Taisha's, checking in with her. Then Wednesday, we're back with me, checking in with me on Wednesday. And Wednesday is the day before Thanksgiving. So, I'm just going to give them hopefully a motivational message. And we're going to talk about all things, how to survive for the holidays. Survive for the holidays. Now, if you're somebody who doesn't need to survive, if you got it covered, help us. Because I have to cook. Now I'm starting at 10 milligrams, like right in the nick of time. I actually thought I was starting 10 milligrams after Thanksgiving. I start the day before. So I'm hoping that Thanksgiving will be right on point, that 10 milligrams. But I don't want to be sick because when I cook, I taste what I cook. Like and I'm not gonna taste a whole lot. But I do a little bit of tasting to make sure it's, hitting the way it's supposed to hit. So I'm gonna do that, and the food is so rich. Like I said, the food is going to be rich. So I won't take that injection until after I'm done cooking. I do know that because I just think that's the smart thing to do if I don't want to get sick. Delilah says, "Thanks, Nadia." Pam says, "Oh, I was not signed into my channel. Maybe that's why." At Mounjaro with Pam. It's amazing. Thank you. I don't know. Is this Talia? What name is that? I don't know what name that is. I hope I don't pronounce it wrong. She said it's a typo. Debbie said I did water aerobics for 10 years, lost 130 pounds, started doing physical therapy, got gym training there. Wow, 10 years and lost 130. I have a friend that is, she does water aerobics a lot. She loves it. And it helps with the knees too. Hey, Pam. Pam has lost over 100 pounds too with Mounjaro. So yeah, I hope if you're not subscribed to Pam, go subscribe to her and follow her journey. And she cracks me up. She's on those videos. And she's just living her best life. I just love it. Delilah says, yes, the rest of us just survive the holidays. Yeah, because I need to survive it. I'm going to tell you, I don't have it all together. I really only eat the kind of food I'm cooking. We call it soul food. I only really eat that 3 times a year. I eat it at Thanksgiving, I eat it at Christmas, and I eat it at Easter. And each time I have cooked it, I've stepped up and been cooking it for my family. And so I won't have that food again till Easter. Now, I probably won't even eat a whole lot of it. I'm not even looking forward to it, but the fact that I still have to cook, I wish I didn't have to cook it at all, but my daughter, loves it. My dad will eat it. And then, what I'm gonna do is, well, I'll talk about this on Wednesday. I have a little plan, so I don't overeat it. Of course, my daughter wants all things sweet, pies and cakes. And so I don't know. I think, I have a plan for that too. I'll talk about that too. But yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. Delilah, yeah, some of us are just surviving it, right? Hello, Miss Gomez. Taisha saying congratulations. Pam says she titrated down to 7.5 for the fourth week now, and I've been able to stay the same weight. Yay. Pam, tell us exactly how much you lost. I forget. I know it's over 100. I'm trying to interview Pam and talk to her. I really am curious of. And then you've been doing this for some years, right? How long did it take you to lose that? She says, "You ladies are busting me up. I'm so happy you are my friends following too." And then she put her channel, Mounjaro Journey with Pam. Yes, I lost 160 pounds. Your total 115 with Mounjaro. Um, when you say 115, what do you mean? 160. Yes, I need to do a K Trevor with you. That's so amazing, Pam. Congratulations. Yes, yes, that is awesome. I am so curious to people who have been on this for a year plus, and I always like to, look at people who are where I want to be. And I'm a goal setter. I want to see myself this way and that way. And so I always love to talk to, I want to also talk to people who have lost and been on this GOP1 medication for a long time, because that's the big criticism. Everybody says, how do you know what's going to happen in a year? How do you know where you're not going to, it's not going to make you sick? There's no long-term research. But we have some people in our community that have been on it for over a year. And so to me, let's talk to those people. Let's see what those people are doing. Let's see how those people feel. One of the things, if you're my friend and I haven't asked you this, we just haven't talked that much, because people can look good, but I like to know how you feel. And so, if I say to you at some point, if we're texting and talking, I always say to people, and I mean this, I hope you feel as good as you look. And, because I know a lot of good looking folks that don't feel good. And so, if you feel good, that is key. So I want to know, Pam, are you feeling good? She says she started her Mounjaro journey at the beginning of August 2023. Is that it's 2023? Is that, yeah, I guess that is over a year, huh? Oh my goodness. Yes. Um, Pam, you got another subby in here. All right. Um, it said, Nadia says, we need after Thanksgiving live so we can check in with each other. Yeah, I got you covered. We will do a live. And you know what? I think Thanksgiving is going to be a sad time for some people. So I do think we also have to keep that in mind too. So I always think, like, what are people doing that don't have friends and family and a support system? I think about that too. So yeah, it's like, I thought, like, it's some kind of way we can maybe reach out to those folks, whoever they may be. She says, heck yes, I feel amazing. Oh my goodness. Yes. Oh my gosh. I bet you do. You look like it too. 15 months on Mounjaro. 15 months. Good for you. Good for you. Good idea, Nadia. She says, oh, I love you ladies. For real, Nadia, I got no family or friends except my partner. I'll be lonely. Well, your partner is here though, right? When your partner be with you, or no? So are you saying it'll just be the two of you? I was waiting to see if she responds back to that, if it'll just be the two of them. Um, but I don't have a big gathering either. I don't have a big gathering. I may go to the movies with my daughter. that Thanksgiving night or evening. I may do that. I haven't decided. I do have a friend. She wants to go over to this friend's house. This is one of her godmothers, and she wants to go over there. But I don't know. She may not be in town. She has a boyfriend that lives out of town, not out of town far. Like you could just drive there in an hour and a half to 2 hours. But so I don't know what her plans are. And so, I'm okay with being at home and just relaxing and catching up on, Happy Thanksgiving, Charlie Brown. Do they even still show that? I have the video, like a DVD. I'll show I'll show that to my daughter, but I'm just cool doing that. Yes, he will. Just the two of us. All right, very good. So you're not as lonely, but yeah, you miss your family and friends for sure. Most of my family and close friends live out of state, so I can relate, and I won't be traveling out of state to see them. So, um, but I'm not lonely either. Remember, I'm a bit of an introvert, and I like to be by myself. As long as I have my daughter, though, it's gonna be like it's 15 people in the house because she keeps me busy and she has it on and popping. She'll be up, she'll be moving around, she'll be doing her thing. He's okay. Delilah says, my friends and family are over 1,700 miles away outside of him, and he'll be gone the first half the week for work. So, okay. But so, okay, so I saw that in the chat when I was, before I put it up there. So, but he'll be back for Thanksgiving though, for Thanksgiving Day. But yeah, that's to be away from your friends and family that far is great. Now, have you guys, probably because he has to work, because I was gonna say, have you thought about traveling there? Even though traveling is so expensive during the holidays, that's another expense. Mary says hello to everybody. You guys are still up at 10:50. I love it. This is like our weight loss club. I love it. Nadia says, I feel you, Delilah. I only have my kids and husband. Where's our family? Where's your family, Delilah? Okay, where's your family? The majority of my family are in California. My middle brother is in New York. Oh, so though, yeah, and that's spread apart. I think I've subscribed to everyone. If you make a comment on the video in case I missed one, it went on my phone. Okay. Thank you, Debbie. Yeah, we're in there with you now. You are joining us and we're going to be following you. Pam says we have to switch up our plans this year and take food to Valley Children's Hospital just north of Fresno, California. My 16-year-old grandson has a bone infection complication from 2 years of chemo. I'm so sorry to hear that. But I'm glad that you will be there with him in the hospital. Okay, so 16. So yeah, he needs all the support he can get. So we're going to be praying for him and praying for safe travels for you to get there. That's so cool that you're even doing that. Like you're, going to visit. You're going to brighten his holiday. Delilah says, I work for an airline, so I fly for free, but I have travel restrictions right now for medical reasons. Okay. Oh, good. You get to fly for free. Very good. Very good. So maybe, what are you doing for the Christmas holiday? Maybe you can get together with your family then. Oh no, Pam, praying for your family. I'm going to get this workout in. Enjoy your night. Oh yes, the workout. Thanks so much for all your prayers. Yes, it's 2 hours north of us. Okay, so that's not too bad. Sorry, ladies. I need to say goodbye. I need to get these guys to bed. Thanks again, DD, for having me. Good night, ladies. Thank you, Jill. You were awesome. You were awesome. I really appreciate you taking time out to just, connect with your subscribers and, all of the GOP1 family. All right. So does anybody have anything else they want to share? Do you guys want to give some Nadia or anybody want to give like some some non-scale victories or victories? Because a lot of people say like their GOP1 journey is kind of lonely because a lot of friends and family don't mention anything about their weight loss. So I just say, this is a place where you can come and you can share and we can give you some positivity. And Pam, do you have any tricks or, you've been on Mounjaro for so long. Do you have any tricks and tips up your sleeve, I wonder? Um, Pam says, he is the reason I started walking again and eating low carb. He is my biggest cheerleader. Aw, very cool, very cool. I love that. I'll be recovering from surgery, but maybe next year I can be with them. Yes, yes. We're gonna think positive and hope you can get that trip with your family and hang out with them. Debbie said, click her button to boost her channel. DD, thank you so much for contacting me. Oh, okay, okay. You are welcome. Pam says, don't be scared to try injecting in the back of the arm. Okay. You know what? I have been doing that. And that's all I've been doing is the back of my arm. I just noticed yesterday I have this big bruise. It's not big, but for me it's, big. I spotted it. And I had not been bruising before. So I was kind of surprised about that. Simply Taisha says, bye, Nadia. Mary says, actually, that's true. My family doesn't mention it at all. Yes, a lot of times they don't. They don't. Um, yeah, I don't know why that is, though. I mean, people have told me they don't because they really don't want to say anything. They just kind of want to treat you as normal. But I think now that people know you're on a weight loss journey, and I don't know, this is true for me. I don't know if it's true for you, but people have been going out of their way to tell me they could tell I lost or they're telling me I look nice. So, I mean, yeah, I'll take that. Delilah, I hate to have people say anything about anything to me. I'm sorry about my loss. It freaks me out, but I'm working on it through therapy. But today I realized my fanny pack fit around my waist. So cool for now. What is an NSV? Because I'm not good with these acronyms. An NSV. What could that possibly mean? I don't know. I start the day off drinking a digestive enzyme. Oh, I'm not even going to try to pronounce that, but the green synergy. Oh, then I drink coffee with protein. No, I saw that in your video, this elixir. What does it taste like? Is that supposed to be airborne or arbonne? I don't know, but what is that? I've seen it, in your video. Um, you making that up, but I've never heard of it until then and didn't forgot about it. Oh, yes, and change your sights, rotate. Okay, so that's our other tip. Rotate your sights. Yeah, the bruising. Yeah, I was bruising in my thigh too. That's another reason why I'm not a fan of my thigh. The Sassy Sister. I love that name, the Sassy Sister. 19 weeks in and down 43 pounds. 43 pounds, 19 weeks. Oh my goodness. So how that's like what? 3 months is 4 times 3 is 12. So that's almost 5 months. That is so cool. You're not even at 5 months yet. I love that. Sassy Sister, you are doing it. You are doing it. Non-scale victory. Why did I not know that? I should have known that. Okay, okay. That tells you what I got. So many things on this mind. Pam says, announce your victory. Yes, see these acronyms, and I'm an educator, and we are the acronym. We should be the acronym kings, queens, and people of all acronyms. So I have so many acronyms in my head, but they're educational. um, she says, yes, the second way you said it. Okay, all right, very good, very good. Debbie says, not skill victory, first pair of jeans in 30 years last week. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. That was your first pair of jeans that you wore in 30 years. Oh my God. Jeez Louise. She says, like the video, it helps her channel. Yes, everybody liked the video. I think some people have. Um, we had 33 people like the video. So if you haven't liked the video, go and like the video. Pam says, I'm not a fan of the thigh, but I only tried it once. Okay, yeah, really, just one time in all that time. So you must be, I know you've been lately, I've seen you doing a lot of the arms, but you must be a belly lady. Um, and I am belly. I don't really like the thigh, but I do like the arm. I'm afraid to, now that I've seen this bruise on my arm, I don't know what I'm going to do, as far as the injection of that 10 milligrams. Congratulations, Debbie. That's amazing. Love it. Yes, I'm an educator too. No way. Oh my goodness. And she says it took me a while to remember what it was. Okay, it's not just me. I liked it when I first came in. Yes, thank you so much for liking the video. Yes, yes, yes. Well, this has been great. This is I always say this when we get together in our lives. I always say like GLP-1 community members activate. I feel like we are a tribe. We have to support each other because don't we know so many people are against us, and I don't know why. Why? And I don't mean us personally, but just the idea. I'm gonna have to tell this story because I saw this influencer, and she is a beauty. She is a beauty. And she talks, beauty, and she talks about weight loss, and she talks about how she lost this weight. And I'm going to be contacting this lady because I did send her a message and asked her if she, what does she feel about people losing weight with the GLP-1? She's one of those blunt people that, basically she'll tell you to get your lazy behind up and start doing A, B, and C. Like she's no nonsense. But she had 30 pounds to lose and she's slim and trim. So if you only have 30, and I shouldn't say only because only is not, 30 pounds is a lot. But for somebody that has, like, I don't think people realize when you have 100 and 200 pounds to lose, and some people more than that, it's just hard to kind of take advice from somebody who lost 30 pounds and now they're, slim and trim at 120 pounds. So it's just kind of like, it's like, okay, that's easy for you to say. So I'm gonna be finding this lady. Like I said, I shouldn't say find her. We've chatted. She's actually texted me back, and I need to get in contact with her because I want to be able to have a conversation with her because she's young, and she did respond back to me. So it's up to me to respond to her now. And I loved her response. I will say that. But I'm gonna try to get her in here, and we can do a live together and talk about this whole idea of people thinking, weight loss is so easy. People think it's easy. And I don't know why, because it's, so many Americans are obese, not just overweight, obese. So if it was so easy, we wouldn't have so many obese people. And I know it sounds easy to say, diet and exercise. But again, if it was that easy, your girl here would be slim and trim because everything else I want to do and accomplish, I can do it and do it well. This has been the one thing that's kind of like plagued me. So, and I know why, and it's not because of my lack of motivation or dedication. And so now that I've learned about being on a GLP-1 and all that it does for you and all that it entails, um, I'm just going to spread this GLP-1 message. Like, first of all, leave us alone and stop saying it's easy. If it was easy, I would be at my 50 pounds lost by Thanksgiving already. Delilah says, I prefer the belly, but now I figured out how to inject in a full length. Is that nitro in my thigh on my own? And it's no longer bruising or hurting that way. Okay. Okay. All right. So what does that mean? Like you're shifting the injection a certain way? I'm not sure what that means. I know what you mean. I did wear jeans for so many years, and now I have more jeans than ever. Judy blue jeans, Vervet, they have some stretch, which makes them comfy. Okay, I've never heard of those. Pam says, oh, I love to watch and listen to the strong motivators too. Tough love. Yeah, I agree. Hey, Shelly, Innovative Hands, how are you? I haven't seen you in a while. She says, hi, everyone. Last month, I joined a support group called Pop Recovery Systems for $10 a month, and they include bariatric surgery and GLP-1. Oh, that's interesting. I've never heard of that. Never heard of that. Treating is not cheating. Yes, I love that. The sassy sister. That you have that name for a reason. I love that. Delilah says full length mirror. Oh, autocorrect. Okay, okay, okay. Oh, Shelly is doing great. Very good, Shelly. Yes. And Shelly is someone that's not on a GOP-1, but she's not telling us we shouldn't do it. That's the thing. She said she's been quite busy. Yeah. This is a busy time of year. So yeah, I'm gonna dive more into that. It's so many topics I want to talk about with these GLP-1s, and I'm ready to take on people that want to talk about it and that want to say that it's cheating, or that we're lazy, and what do you guys think about Lizzo? I just saw a picture of Lizzo, and she is looking slim and trim, and she's looking good, but I don't know if I think she has not had a boost in some way. And I wish these celebrities, when they do get now when I say a boost, it can be a fat burner, it doesn't have to be that she's on a GLP-1. But I just have a hard time believing that it's just, not with a boost. Now, she could say she's not, she could be doing a Kelly Clarkson on us. We don't know. But what do you guys think about her? And I brought that up to say that's the problem I have with it, and that's why I think so many people are still embarrassed to talk about it, because these celebrities are embarrassed to talk about it, right? These lights are getting to me, but they're embarrassed to talk about when they've lost weight in a different way than it's just your traditional. But the problem is that people, and I don't want to say the problem, but the thing people don't realize is we still have to exercise and lose and diet in a way, change our eating habits. And I won't call it a diet because I mean everything in moderation, but I am cutting back a lot. And so, I've changed things. I'm just not doing the same thing I was doing before. So I think that's what the misconception is. So let's see if this Hulu addresses that, right? We're all going to watch Hulu now that we've subscribed to Debbie's channel. It's so hard, and there's no shame in using any tool. Mounjaro, for 7 months, your A1C went from 8.5 to 5.5. I say yes. Love that. Very good. That's awesome. And that's, my main motivation is to get my A1C down. So that is awesome. Like, I'm just so happy for you. You just don't know. Walking is so underrated. I started walking with 10 minutes in the morning and then 10 minutes in the evening, because that's as much as I could walk at 313 pounds. My knees were so sore. And that's the reason why I haven't been walking on my Peloton. I have a Peloton treadmill. And the way I first had a bike, and then I transitioned to the treadmill because I could not stand that bike, that little seat. My buns have to be comfortable at all times. And that seat, I bought 3 or 4 seats from Amazon. I even have a seat that I couldn't return because I waited too long. So anybody needs a bicycle seat, if you want to pay me for me to ship it to you, you can have it. You could have it. It's a bicycle seat. It's a big one for a bike, like a Peloton type of bike. And I don't know if you could use it on a regular bike, but even with that seat, it wasn't comfortable to be on that bike. So I have the treadmill, and now the treadmill has just hurt my knees. So once I lose another about 20 more pounds, I'll get on there and like run on there and hit it hard like I used to when I was, down in the 230s. Now I'm 260. I don't know well, 260, I will say. 260 point something. And, for me, I have a little bit of arthritis that has set in, and I'm not going to risk it and run on the treadmill or walk on the treadmill. Now, walking outside, I could, it's kind of chilly now, but that wouldn't even be something I would want to do. So I'm doing some strength training things with my own weight. I'm going to be adding weights after Thanksgiving. I'm going to be in there with those, Taishas of the world and Jills doing the weight. So I am going to start that. That's going to be something else I start as I head to my next goal. So yeah, I mean, I just think we all got to do what works for us. And we just got to make it happen. We got to stay strong. This is the hardest time, I think, to be on any kind of diet plan, right? Is in the winter months, for one. So the winter months, that's something that's going to stump a lot of us, right, already, because you just want to eat and, it's not as light out, the weather's going to keep you inside. So we have to stock up with some healthy snacks, right? So we got to do that. But you got Thanksgiving. And then after Thanksgiving, you have Christmas. And I think Christmas, as far as eating, could even be worse because I feel like Christmas is a lot more candy, chocolate, and everybody's having a Christmas party. Everybody's giving out Christmas snacks. If you're a teacher and if you're in education, you're eating snacks all year long. That teacher's lounge is always filled with some goodies. Some people have a party, they put stuff in there. And we have different lounges in my school, not just one area. So you might say, don't go to the teacher's lounge. Well, it's pretty much one on every floor. It's hard to pass them. They put them by the mailboxes. Now that's the new thing. They're by our mailboxes at school. So, food is there. So, I've just been saying no, my appetite is suppressed. But, the temptation is out there. So we have to stay strong. We have to be a strong community. We have to support each other. And for people who saying they don't have a support system, we're going to be your support system. We got you covered. So, we just want everybody to, make it through these holidays, not be depressed. And if you feel like, you want to eat something, don't deprive yourself if you can control yourself. If you can't control how much of it you're going to eat, then I would say don't eat it. Just stick to the rivers and the lakes that you're used to, which is probably your fruits and veggies and protein, a little bit of carbs. But if you can handle it, then go for it. I say go for it. And I just say, to get that exercise in, maybe, if you're doing 10 minutes, do 20 minutes the next day. If, you can do 30 minutes to kind of burn off what you ate. But I think depriving yourself of something leads to binges, and that has always been the case for me. So I say don't deprive yourself. But again, if you can't control yourself, then you might not want to even go there. So we'll do these. Oh, Pam is talking about Lizzo. I'm just so fascinated. I was thinking I saw Lizzo using a GLP-1. I want her to be happy and feeling good too. Whatever she uses, I understand why she is being quiet because of all the shamers out there. Yes, she dressed up as an Ozempic pen for Halloween. I think maybe that's where you saw that at. And everybody was talking about it. And she, she's kind of like a jokester like that. She did it as a joke. But she could have really been changing her diet because if you follow her, and I remember seeing some of her Instagram posts. She was a vegan, and she was eating like food like Oreos. We know can be a vegan. She was eating, she was eating all things sugary, and she was making some vegan treats, but they were still not what we would consider, something you should be eating if you were, just trying to cut calories and cut carbs. And I say cut carbs because it was, the processed carbs. So I would see that stuff on her Instagram or whatever she was sharing it on TikTok. I don't know if that was it. But I thought, no wonder she's not losing. And she was always exercising because she's probably eating a ton of calories. So she could very well have just cut those calories out. I mean, who am I to say? I don't know. She could have. I hope she did. I do see why she would be embarrassed to say, but I just think when you're on a big platform like that, and you have people following you and people trying to do what you do in a way, what if there's somebody who's really trying to lose the way she says she's losing and they're, hopeless because they're not losing when she was on the GLP-1 all along. I just think that when you're in that position, that's not cool. But, like I said, I'm not mad at her either. I understand both sides. Water aerobics is the best for arthritis and bad joints. It saved her. Very good. I could totally see that. I haven't gotten into the water aerobics. You need to find an outdoor heated pool like a gym or arthritis foundations can have. Now that's a good idea, arthritis foundations. So it would be for free. Lizzo went vegan, then boom, no longer. Oh, so she's no longer a vegan. Then bam, no longer a vegan. Well, because she was eating, look, you see the food she was eating. I did vegan too at one point. Years ago, I was telling Simply Taisha about it, because she's plant-based. And I saw this movie, Forks Over Knives. I don't know if you've ever seen that. Great movie. I would recommend it. to anybody. It's like one of those OG movies that first one of the first movies that came out about veganism and plant-based eating. And I went vegan. I want to say it was a month and a half. First of all, it was expensive. I was even making my own desserts, but it was carb heavy because it doesn't have to be carb heavy, but I just made it carb heavy because I just, that's what I ate. I was eating beans. Beans were gassy. I have learned a trick about soaking your beans before you cook them to take the gassiness out. Um, but yeah, I just got bored with the eating too. And at that time, I ended up buying, I don't know if you guys know who Alicia Silverstone is. She was the lead in Clueless. She was the girl, I can't remember her name. But she was a girl that played in, and I still have her cookbook downstairs in my kitchen. But she had a cookbook. She was a vegan. I don't know if she was a vegetarian or a vegan. I want to say it was a vegan. And I found myself making some of her, like her recipes were good, but they were just it was items I had never heard of before, so I would go to Whole Foods and try to purchase that stuff, and I spent a fortune. Like, you talk about groceries are expensive now, that cost me a lot of money to eat vegan for that month and a half. Beans are cheap because, you could buy beans, a bag of beans, even now with all the inflated prices, you could buy cheap beans. Back then, um, with the things that she was having you buy, it was a lot. But the recipes were good and it was just a lot of work and expensive. And so I didn't last very long on that. Like I said, a month and a half. And you have to think about it. You cannot eat any eggs. So anything that's baked, you can't eat, baked goods, any kind, you can't eat that. You just were limited. So I ate a lot of yams. I ate a lot of potatoes. I ate a lot of rice. And I lost weight though because that stuff is not, even though it's heavy carbs, I was not eating a whole lot. So, my calorie count was still low. And I think I want to say I lost like 10 pounds, maybe 12 pounds or something like that. And my blood sugar, my A1C dropped dramatically. Or not dramatically, not my A1C, my blood pressure at the time went down dramatically, just having that vegan lifestyle. So yeah, that's Cher from Clueless. No, what's her Alicia Silverstone? She was the lead in Clueless. What was her name? That the lead lady. Was her name Cher? I don't know her name was Cher. What character was Stacey Dash? The African American girl. I don't know what her name was either. She says, "Oh yeah, that must be why you could be overweight vegan because the carbs." Yeah, the carbs. Yeah, for sure. Um, and then you have to think, and Simply Taisha talks about this, though a lot of those tofu and all those, plant-based meats that they call them, those are processed meats. And so even though, they don't have, the animal products, they still have chemicals and everything in there that's making it into that imitation beef patty. So, I guess you have to pick your poison nowadays. Do you want to be healthy, 100% healthy? I don't know how you can be 100% healthy because even breathing this air is not 100% healthy. But so yeah, you just have to decide which route you want to go. He says it's Cher. I don't remember her name being Cher. Maybe it was. I was a vegetarian for 3 years and still 300 pounds. Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah. A lot of vegans and vegetarians are overweight. Pam says, "Oh, I'm getting a yawning bug." Pam says, "I like to add beans to my taco meat to add some more protein. That's a great tip. And now I use I don't know what that is. Siete taco seasonings. They have clean ingredients in all their foods. I never heard of that place." Debbie says, "Thank you, P." Or thank you, D. That's so funny. Oh man. Yes, the name and the character. Oh, it was Cher and Stacy was Dion. Yeah, I remember the D. It was Cher, huh? I don't know why. Oh, Sonny and Cher. I think of that when I think of Cher. Okay, Dion. I don't remember her name either. That sounds familiar. Thank you, Pam. I live on tacos. Yes, I do love a good taco myself. Very good. All right, well, I'm gonna get ready to get out of here because we want to watch Hulu. I'm gonna try to find Delilah, can you put that back in the chat again? I'm gonna try to find your message. We want people to go over there. There's a special on Hulu that Delilah told us about, and she said that it is about GLP-1s. I'm trying to find we have so many messages in this chat. I was trying to find the chat. Um, where is it? Where is it? Delilah, if you don't mind putting that back in the chat, maybe we could send people. Oh, nerds, is she saying it's called The Weight of the World on Hulu? She told us about that. Nope, that's not it. Uh, let's see. I don't know where that is. Let's see if Delilah might have put it in the chat. Oh, is it Sete? 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 Was a great brand. Now it was purchased by Frito-Lay. I don't expect it to be that way for long. Oh my goodness. Jeez, Louise, these big companies, they take over, don't they? There was even a line in the movie how they both were named after the singers. I don't remember that. How do I not remember that? I'm being clueless like Clueless. I do not remember the name Cher, but that movie came out so long ago. How do you even remember it? How do you even know it? You must have seen that, but it's been on your repeat play. She says, "Yeah, Pepsi Cola. Oh, they bought them for 1.2 billion. I contacted the company and they assured me that Pepsi believes in them and will keep the same ingredients. They better because it's been my fave discovery." So wait, so is Pepsi Cola the same as Frito Lay? Because she just told us that it was Frito Lay. I'm confused. Okay. Is it, or are they one and the same? I don't know. Do you guys know that? I didn't bring it up, only I brought up what it was about. Oh, but I posted the link to the show. Oh, did you? I don't remember seeing that. I'm so sorry. Let me see. Oh, I was trying to scroll up the chat. I didn't see that. Um, but we'll find it. It's called The Weight of the World. It's on Hulu. Um, and we're gonna watch that. It's about the GLP-1. Um, it's about GLP-1, so that's all I need to know. I want to know, what's going on with that. So, thank you guys for coming. Thank you for coming. Thank you for watching that video. If you were in the chat busy, I will be showing Jill's video on just one of my regular videos that you guys can go back and watch her. She is amazing. She is awesome. She has inspired me with her weight loss and just being a mom with 10 little ones, or now they're not so little. She has an age span. I shouldn't say little ones, but just being a mom of 10, I really, really do admire that. And then she's homeschooling, no less. Homeschooling. So I will see you guys Sunday. I will see you guys Sunday at 1 o'clock. Be there or be square on my live on Sunday, doing a weight loss check-in. And then I will see you for my regular Wednesdays. Every Wednesday, the GLP-1 community, we meet here on Downsizing Diva at 8 p.m. And we just want to talk about, some things going on in our community. We're trying to learn some things. We're trying to get healthy. And most of all, we want to celebrate your victories for the week, non-scale or on the scale. So I will see you guys on Sunday. Tomorrow. Sunday is tomorrow. Jeez Louise, I think I need to go to bed. All right, have a good night. Nice to talk to you, Delilah. I am so excited that we have sparked up this friendship. Debbie, Pam, we have to get together. I have to talk to all of you guys. I want to, I just love to chat with people. Um, the Sassy Sister, I just love that name. It was nice interacting with you today. I think that name is so cool. Who else was it? Mary, my girl Mary from Florida. I love that. Nadia, of course. Nadia is always in the lives with me. Thank you so much for being so supportive. I'm trying to shout out who are all some of these other people. Um, Living for lifestyle for living. Thank you for showing up and showing out on here for Jill. Let's see. Mindy, of course, Z, you're all just everybody who came, and Alonda was in here, Kofia was in here. Thank you for showing up and being supportive. And of course, Val from Virginia, love it. So I'm probably leaving out so many names. You guys know who you are. You're all just so super supportive. I appreciate that. Yes, embrace Debbie. I was just embraced in this community. I'm one of those people that I'm a go-getter, so I'm going to be out and about and, trying to do different things. I like to put a different twist on things if I can. If everybody's going left, I like to be creative and go, I'm going left too, but I might not be going the exact same way you would to get left, to go left. So follow me along on my creative journey. I'm starting to feel like I'm getting under the weather again. I was out amongst the crowd today. This is another reason why I don't really like the crowds. So I hope I'm not getting sick and losing my voice. But geez, Louise, this my immunity. What do you call that? What do you call that? What do you call that? That's keeping you guys. That keeps you healthy. Um, I can't remember the name of it now, but I just hope it doesn't fail me. Keep me strong. I got to stay strong so I can make it to Thanksgiving because I got a meal to cook. I can't afford to be sick. All right, so everybody have a great night. Go check out that Hulu. I'm gonna go and I'm gonna get ready for bed, and then I'm gonna watch that. And I will see you guys on Sunday. Thank you again. Good night. Good night. Good night. Bye.